Uh-oh. Hey everyone, and welcome to Superhero Speak. I'm your host, Dave.
And I'm John.
I'm JD, and I'm trying to rearrange this thing because I'm not supposed. There we go. No, hold on.
Wait, stop. I'm doing it.
No, I got it.
Wait, you can do that?
Yeah,
I can touch buttons. All right.
you can touch as many
No.
buttons. You can touch as many buttons as you like, John.
No, for crying. I really have to watch that.
So we're
I thought
back,
you didn't-
everyone.
I thought you didn't watch movies like that.
Loaded with technical difficulties.
And
usual.
innuendo,
And innuendo, yes.
as usual.
Wouldn't be this show without it, right?
Guess not.
How is everyone doing? John, how are you feeling? You were under the weather last week.
I spent the whole week being sick. I still don't feel up to snuff right now. I took 2 COVID tests over the last week, both negative. It was just a really horrid flu.
Yeah.
And I've still got a cough that I am really suppressing hard right now. But there you go. I lost it. Anyway, so yeah, no, this week was just, I didn't even get to go see my parents for Thanksgiving. I was too sick to drive.
Oh, wow.
But the neighbors, the ones that have 2 little girls that watch my cats when I'm out and about, they brought over a turkey dinner for me. So
That was very kind of them.
Yeah, I have really good neighbors. Just the best. So yeah,
They're like State Farm?
no.
Hey, sounds like
no.
it's like George Bailey over here.
So yeah, it was good. I mean, that part was good. The rest of it just kind of sucked. But what are you gonna do? I mean, it was a flu. And the funny thing is, I've got a doctor's appointment this week. What am I getting? Flu shot. So
Little too late for that.
yeah, a little, just missed it. So
By
yeah,
that
so-
much.
I tell you, last Saturday and Sunday, I don't even remember it. And I could get roaring drunk and remember everything, but I don't remember those 2 days because I was so out of it. I was running like a fever of like 103 both days. I'm like, I was done. So yeah, that was my week. So I caught up on a lot of anime.
Of course you did. Well, we're
reading,
glad you're at least well enough to join us tonight, and you're on the mend. That's the important thing.
Getting there.
How about you, JD?
Nothing really over here. Andy's been sick for a couple weeks with a rhinovirus.
Oh,
So
that's
perhaps
fun.
Did
Yeah,
he
well,
grow
it's
the
just-
horn yet?
I made that joke. He didn't think it was funny. Now I get why. It's funny. So he's been coughing for like a month, and they said, "Oh, these rhinoviruses, not much you can do. You just got to kind of wait it out." Speak of the devil,
Right.
he just dropped a note on me because
Oh.
we have our own pod. We recorded our own podcast before because he wanted to have his own podcast. So him
Breaking
and Dad
news.
recorded it's breaking news.
Oh,
So he sent me a bunch of notes, and I have no idea what any of this says because his handwriting's terrible. So but he's doing all right. He's still got a little bit of a cough, which he's like I said, he's had for like a month now. But other than that, it's been all right over here. Took him to see wrestling on Wednesday. Yeah, it was fun. Been laying low. We were off school all week, which was all right. We had parent teacher conferences on Monday and Tuesday, which was first wrestling meet of the year went last Wednesday. It went pretty good. Other than that, low key. How about you, Dave?
well, how was your turkey day?
It was fine. My in-laws came over and we ate at like 1:00 in the afternoon. And then I was like, it ruined the rest of my day because I was exhausted. Like the kid and I took a nap and like it was like 6. And I'm like, I can't believe how tired I am. And then we watched Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, it was fun. It's a whole, man, Wilder's an absolute madman in that film. His performance holds up fantastic.
His is the ultimate performance. Like everybody is
He's
going to be
great.
compared to him.
Yeah, he's great in that movie. So
You
You didn't take him
on.
on. No, it wasn't in Chicago. Oh no, to WWE. No, he doesn't watch WWE. We just watch AEW. So we went to Wednesday Dynamite, and should have gone to WWE. It turns out, but yeah.
Okay, and Drew, you're saying it's not currently running on Facebook. I'm not sure why it's not showing any errors on our end. All right.
Mhm.
Oh, is that part of your computer trying to shut down
Could be.
and start?
Behind the scenes, Dave's computer rebelled on him like Hal in 2001 before the show started.
Yes, yes.
Well,
No-
it's a problem with
Oh,
Microsoft.
No,
so-
Dave, I won't do that, Dave. It's perfect.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah,
Perfect.
exactly.
So, as I was saying, Dave, how was your weekend?
It was good. It's it's weird when we have a week off. I know this wasn't by choice, but it was, but it ends up being real busy week for me, because like I go to my daughter's for Thanksgiving, but I cook the turkey and do the stuffing and the gravy, and she does everything else. So
Want to hear a controversial statement?
yes,
I hate gravy.
Whoa!
I hate
Whoa!
I hate it
Whoa!
so much, and I always have. Brown gravy, white gravy, it's all disgusting. Fortunately,
look,
I can't
hold
eat
on.
it now 'cause it's all chock full of gluten, but I hate gravy. Ugh.
Right now we might be losing our gravy loving fans, and I only have one thing to say that.
What are you doing? We don't do that here.
Yeah.
Hot Thanksgiving topics.
Yeah, but I mean, it went really well. Like I got to her house at 7:30 in the morning to get everything done, and we ate at 3.
Oh, so you're these old people that have to eat at the butt crack of dawn to have dinner and mess everything up.
No, because I got to spend the day with my granddaughters while the turkey was cooking.
Oh,
so,
that's fine. I guess take away my joke. That's fine. Whatever.
Drew doesn't like brown gravy either.
It's gross, man. It's gross.
Whoa, man! I don't know about you guys anymore.
You know what the worst thing is when people have the mashed potatoes, because mashed potatoes on their own are just phenomenal. Like I spend probably 60% of my meal just on mashed potatoes, carved up like a mug. But then they make that lake of gravy inside their mashed potatoes. Oh my God, is that disgusting?
No, that's the best.
Oh,
Okay,
my stomach turns.
So
just
wait,
thinking.
Wait. Now, a little bit of gravy, a little bit of mashed potatoes, a little bit of turkey, and a little bit of sauerkraut.
What? What are you, a heathen? Sauerkraut? Is this a Pennsylvania thing?
No, I have no.
No.
It's an O'Grady thing. I have no idea how far back in my family's history it goes. But yeah, sauerkraut just brings everything together for Thanksgiving dinner. Don't know why, it just does.
I'm sure there's a lot of German and Polish families that have sauerkraut on Thanksgiving.
We're Irish. I have no idea where it came
Well,
from.
I don't know what that's
O'Grady,
got to do
I'm
with.
perplexed.
A
lot of my Italian brethren have pasta for Thanksgiving along with
Oh
their
yeah. My
we do not.
It's funny. Then they didn't really do it in my wife's family. Even though my father-in-law was first generation born in this country, but the woman I dated before I met my wife, they always had pasta on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, interesting.
So,
Very
had a
strange.
pasta course. Happy past Thanksgiving belly aches, fellas.
Had one on Thursday, that's for sure.
Yep. So I guess you
My-
can't do bread stuffing then either, right?
Oh no. My wife tried something. She made like a sweet potato and sausage mix. It was okay. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I'm gonna have to chuck through it for lunch this week, so it was all right.
My
mother-in-law.
daughter,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. I'll
no, my
continue.
daughter makes a rice stuffing.
Ooh, I bet that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'd eat that. I try that. That sounds kind of good. Rice is great. Rice is fantastic. My mother-in-law usually makes like gluten-free pumpkin pie and like a really good pie crust, but she forgot to bring she bought the wrong one. So before she came over, she made like pumpkin pie cups. So we had like baby food jars essentially filled with pumpkin pie. And you know what? It was awesome. You sprayed the whipped cream on top and just went to town. I was like, this is great, actually. This is great.
But actually, the night before Thanksgiving, I went to my girlfriend's, and she made 4 pumpkin pies.
Damn.
1 was for me to take with me, and 3 was for her family.
Dang, it was did she make good pumpkin pie?
Oh yeah, very good.
That's clearly if she's making 4 of them.
But and I was like, wait, who's coming over? Because it was just she told me originally it was just her aunt, her boys, and her mom, and her aunt even didn't come. But like, her boys can eat pumpkin pie, so
I guess so. Do you guys only do pumpkin pie, or do you venture out into some of the other pies for Thanksgiving?
well, my daughter made an apple strudel and a chocolate pudding pie.
We call that
So
French silk over here. That's pretty good though. I'm a fan.
yeah, my girlfriend bought a French silk and an apple pie for Thanksgiving, but I'm just a pumpkin guy myself.
So wait, she made 4 pumpkin pies and bought 2 more?
Yeah,
How
well,
much pie does one need?
she bought those pies because it was for a charity thing at school.
Oh, okay,
So you know, so
ruining my material this week, man.
Normally, you only see that much pie on Pie Day. So
yes. So yeah,
Or when doing math.
but it was good. Then of course spent the weekend at my girlfriend's, which brings up another interesting topic I wanted to bring up. So normally I create clips from the show and I put them out on social media to promote the show throughout the week.
Did I do that
Right?
this week? Did
No, because I didn't have a new show to promote.
I thought it was quiet.
But remember when we were talking about the Marvels and we were talking about the barrier to entry, and I said that my girlfriend doesn't like
Huge.
Marvel because of the huge barrier to entry at this point. So I put that the tool I use made that a clip. I put it out, and people are assholes. That's all I'm gonna
What?
say.
Yeah,
So
on social media, especially. Yes.
well, we had one quote where it was like, "Yeah, right. This guy has a girlfriend," with like
Oh,
laughing
fuck those
emojis.
guys.
So I actually
Ugh.
deleted that clip, and then the next day someone commented it was a completely different person. This guy has a girlfriend. I have to up my game. And you know what? Yeah, you do.
You fucking loser.
You fucking loser. Like, I've got a girlfriend because I know how to treat women. Apparently you don't. So
No, so you're sitting home on Thanksgiving masturbating. You loser. Fucking twat. I like this part of the game. That should be our social media madness for this week.
Okay.
JD insults listeners. That guy's not a listener. He ain't gonna listen. He's a fucking
No.
dickhead.
no, it was someone who
No,
came across the clip on social media and just said
Yeah,
that.
fuck him.
There's always going to be trolls that are just going to comment.
There's-
They don't even know what the hell the show's about. It's just going to be, they'll
Well, ours
listen
is
like
pretty
5
tricky
minutes
to
and get angry.
Ours is pretty tricky to figure out there, man. You might not know our show. They like superhero speak. Hey, Chris Haig. People on social media are assholes. What a revelation. Chris, you are an asshole. So I don't know what you're talking about. Trying to play the good guy over here. I know you.
I'm hoping he's a friend of yours.
Yeah, it's all good friend. Yeah.
For the kind of people that make those kind of comments, yeah, it actually would be kind of hard to figure out what we're about. These
Napoleon
guys are
film
just-
was such a mistake. It should have been a TV. Are you talking about the Ridley Scott one, Ulysses? Ulysses.
No.
Sorry, I'm out of practice. Ulysses says Napoleon was such a mistake. It should have been a TV series. I assume he means the Ridley Scott Napoleon. It's not getting great reviews. I
Yeah,
see.
focus on the romance and the historical events. Shake my head.
Yeah. I mean, yes, Ridley Scott he's talked a lot of crap about superhero movies, and it's been hard to get excited to defend them because they've all been really bad this year. But I mean, like his last couple movies have been kind of ass. True story. Yeah, Chris agrees. He knows.
Nice. And Randy says Dave's girlfriend gives me hope. So right, exactly. Randy knows.
It's gonna take that in another direction. I'm gonna leave it alone because it's
No.
holiday. The look on John's face is priceless. I love it.
Yeah, so that just
No
was
comment.
like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like,
Fuck him.
yeah.
Oh wait,
exactly.
him and Ridley Scott. Fuck them both. Ridley Scott can get it.
Yeah.
Although I'll say this Ridley Scott. He's in his 80s and still making movies. That's pretty impressive.
I just saw the previews. It was it's what's his face, Joaquin Phoenix
Joaquin Phoenix.
as Napoleon, and I'm like, who asked for this movie? Like, I don't know. Like, is it? I learned about him in school. I mean,
The
never
guy who
thought-
made Kingdom of Heaven.
Yeah. Classy says, "I'm so sad Napoleon could have been great, but I was depressed at the end of the film."
It's not an uplifting story, to be honest with you, Classy.
Yeah.
John's face. Why am I the only adult here? That is the face, and that is the question. Yeah, I mean, it's Napoleon. It's not like a happy story to begin with. I mean,
No.
yeah,
I
and
don't
then,
know.
I mean, he's killed, right? He was killed by his own men.
No, he's exiled.
Oh, okay.
I believe he was exiled. Like it's not a great thing. It's like reading Julius Caesar. Like, man, that ending, what a bummer. You know,
Yeah.
like,
He got
fuck,
stabbed
man.
in the back.
March, shitty time of year. Early spring, kind of blows, and they kill the guy.
He died on the island of St. Helena, where he was out of power and exiled from his beloved France. By May 5th, 1821, he had been getting sicker for several months and suffering from recurrent abdominal pain, progressive weakness, and unabating constipation.
That's a shitty way to go. Pardon the pun.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that
god!
was the low. That was the low fruit, man. That was the low fruit.
Was the low-hanging fruit. Unlike what he couldn't get hanging out of him. Yeah, that's a shitty way to go. I did it again. That's a bad way to go.
I mean, there's no. I mean, come on. It's just.
Napoleon
Yeah.
dies in prison, yeah. Accurate.
Spoiler
Napoleon
alert:
does die.
Napoleon dies in prison.
He died at 51. Yeah.
He was only
So-
51 from mad
Well-
sex disease. I thought it was too. I thought he had like chlamydia or syphilis or something like that. John's face on only adults. I like that. I wish I made that joke. Yeah, I think it was a sex disease. I think it was chlamydia or the clap or something like that.
Yeah.
Probably.
Syphilis. Hitler. They think Hitler had syphilis too.
Napoleon was not what I thought I'd have to do research on for this. So.
All right.
I don't know.
Well, we did. I did ask the question the previous week on social media that we did get some answers on, and my question, we talked about this a lot. Well, no, we didn't talk about this. We talked about the movie, but obviously, the Marvels failed, right? In all measurements of Marvel movies and money, it's a complete failure.
Which is
Oh, I know.
is stupid because it's a good movie. It's better than some of the others. Like
John, they have to go to see it to know it's a good movie. That's the thing. And it's not,
I
think
know,
it's-
but even word of mouth, I feel like the trolls are winning this round. You know, like
They've
the
been winning
word of
for a
mouth
while.
should have at least should
So-
have at least pushed it out that
Okay,
you know,
so
it should make more money than
here's
this.
here's the reason I asked this question on social media too, because a lot of different YouTubers were shitting on this movie who obviously didn't even see it, right? But like
That's what they do.
it seemed to become the in thing to do. Like just everyone's ragging on it, everyone's ragging on Disney and Marvel, so we're just gonna pile on, and it's just like, yeah, but that's not fair, and I think
gotta
that
get those
scares
clicks.
people away. Yeah.
Oh, 100% does. But it's like when you're playing this game, positivity doesn't typically go very far unless the zeitgeist is with you, right? And
Yeah.
like this movie, and again, I don't even think like Hassan said, Flash was a good movie. It was okay, and it failed. Blue Beetle was a good movie, and it failed. I think we're burning people out, man. I think like we've reached the phase where you and I say like, I'm tired of this. Chris says it sucks we failed because it was so much better than anything else released in Snowy Home other than Guardians 3. Yeah, I agree 100%. That's what I said when we reviewed it. Classy says that we live in an internet era right now that before the internet didn't exist, so they have to go to theaters to
Go
watch
to
the
theater,
movie.
watch me, yeah.
Yeah.
You're young and classy, so I'll cut you some slack on this. Let me tell you about a little movie called Batman '89 and how people were ready to shit on that thing when Michael Keaton got cast. Right? I
Yeah.
mean, it's different now, but I mean, the problem with the internet is it's a two-edged sword, right? Because guys like us aren't doing this show without the internet, right? But the problem is,
Right.
the internet gives everybody a voice, and not all voices should be weighted equally. And not all voices are
Yeah.
weighted equally, but everybody can participate in the discourse. And when the zeitgeist goes one way, it's going to happen. And I think it was good, but it wasn't good enough to buck the trends or to stand against what was going on. I was born in 1986. Yeah, man, I have T-shirts older than you, homie. So like, sorry.
I literally have T-shirts older than yeah.
Can you say goodnight to everybody?
Right.
Hey, you gotta get in the camera. You know how to do this. Talk to the microphone. Say goodnight.
Good night.
One more time.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Love
Good
you.
night.
Good night.
So
Thanks.
Joey,
Oh,
so was her
More
podcast,
notes.
says men lie, women lie, math don't white lie. 270 million budget plus marketing won't break 200 million worldwide. It's a flop. Could be better than blowjobs, but dollar wise, it's a flop.
Look, but it doesn't deserve to be a flop. I just,
So
because
there's
there's a whole Brie Wilson, contingent.
Who's Brie
people
Wilson?
that hate- I mean Brie Larson. Sorry.
Ah,
There's a whole contingent that like just want to see her movies flop for no reason whatsoever.
because
Well,
she talked.
they're-
Because she talked.
She-
No, there's a reason. She's
because she
against the incel.
bought her their
Yeah,
little
she did.
incel.
I hate that phrase, but
fantasies.
I mean, like, and that's the thing is these movies. We can say that, but Captain Marvel made a ton of money. Captain Marvel was a
Right.
success, and that bothered people. The problem is Marvel is cranking these things out now like widgets, right? None of them have a chance to breathe on their own and to be their own thing. It's just one more piece of the puzzle, man.
I actually was having a conversation with someone on social media on my personal page, and I also think one of the problems, this wasn't marketed well compared to like other Marvel movies.
No, it really wasn't.
It wasn't
No,
marketed as heavy.
compared to like Love and Thunder, they marketed the hell out of that.
And there's a
Yeah,
rumor.
that's
There
why.
is a rumor going around right now that the movie was made due to contractual issues, and that they didn't really want to make it. I don't know that's true. That they're saying that's why it was
Feels
cut
like
down
it.
that's why it was cut down to like 100 minutes. It's why they didn't market it heavily. But I don't know.
I think the real reason it wasn't marketed is because they look at the trends where movies are trending to go, and this wasn't
Yeah.
trending to do well. So if you're Disney, why would you spend this kind of money? Why would you spend more money than people aren't going to go see this movie anyway? Those plus tickets are expensive, and the economy isn't good at the moment, so customers pick and choose. The economy is not. I mean, that's a talking point that's not quite accurate. But I mean, here's the thing: is people when they want something, they'll go see something,
Right, exactly, like Barbie.
right?
I
Like
kind of
Barbie.
think movie theaters are going to become obsolete in a few years.
They keep saying that. I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I don't buy that. I mean, there's enough pushback against that right now. If they made it through, here's the thing about theaters: if they made it through the pandemic, they'll make it through this. The problem is, keep Kazan's up. I like this. The problem is you have to give people a reason to go, and people are tired of franchises. It's not just the superhero movies that failed. Mission Impossible failed, right? Indiana
Yeah.
Jones,
Really? Wow.
yeah, everything failed.
Oh yeah, the Indiana
Fast and
Jones
Furious-
one. I know.
Fast and the Furious failed. People got tired. 2023 is the year people said, I'm kind of sick of franchises.
Yeah.
Barbie won, and Five Nights at Freddy's is kicking ass right now. Kassan
Yep.
says, and I love this. I haven't read the rest, but I love the first sentence. Kassan says, JD's take is the real problem. You sound like my wife. There's a mass production of these movies and have reduced the quality. There's a lot of truth to that too. Like I said, they're
Yeah.
widgets. They're knocking widgets out. Like we have to hit X amount of movies, needs to be done this way. So we have the formula, yada da da da. And there isn't the care, right? And there isn't the thirst for these movies like there used to be, right? I think that's a big part of it too. The market's saying, we're good right now. I think James Gunn's in trouble, not because of anything to do with his movie, but because there's just such a negative outlook on
Yeah.
superhero movies. Maybe by when's it supposed to come out? Next year or the year after? I forget which. But maybe by then people will be a little bit more calm about it. But right now, if I had a superhero movie, I would think twice before releasing it.
Even Oppenheimer did well. I mean, like,
So
Oppenheimer did well. You're not gonna
All
get a
right.
sequel to that.
all right, so here's some of the responses we
Oh,
got on
God.
here's some of the responses we got on social media over on X, formerly known as Twitter. Random Randy Savage said, "Could this post be any more clickbaity?
No, yes, it could, Randy.
It's
It could.
only a failure of the realm of being a Marvel movie. Top gross this weekend in second in FNAF, with $8 million and the Taylor Swift concert. Scorsese's
Taylor Swift
3-hour
concert.
film
Yes,
about Leo
man.
banging an Indian chick made 10 million more
That's
in
also
a month. Failure.
That's also been a failure. Like
What movie?
Scorsese, another guy. Oh god, his movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, the murder mystery on the Indian reservation thing,
oh,
Native American reservation. Excuse me. I forget the title of it. Scorsese also talked a lot of crap this year about Marvel movies, and nobody went to go see his movies. But again, his movies aren't like box office like phenomenon. Like he's Scorsese. Classy. Hot take Western. Honestly, hot take Western should take notes from anime Japan and put tons of fan service in superhero shows and films. Okay, so we need to talk about using more words in our sentences, Classy.
No,
They
kind of
do.
do though.
Hey, I was gonna say that's not the problem. We're so loaded on
Yeah.
Killers of the Flower Moon. Thank you, Randy. No, I think they do put tons of fan service. I think that you have to
Marvel
go to
did.
the movie, Marvel specifically. You have to go to the movie to get the fan service. That's the problem. They're not going to the movies. They're kind of tired of them. And I'm guilty as charged, man. I've said that for a year on this show.
You were
July
asking when.
25th. Oh,
Yeah.
perfect. Maybe the mood will change by then.
Killers of the Flower Moon.
Killers of the Flower Moon. So I'm talking about missing words.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Drew says, I don't feel comedies, dramas that don't have special effects are losing a place in the theater since people just wait for streaming. Yeah, I think you're right. I think like if anything, the theater is going to be more for blockbusters.
Event.
Right.
Type movies,
and then the smaller movies, which again, that's kind of been the home of smaller movies for 30 years, 40 years now. They've found their audience in home video. Right. I think that's just streaming is the new home video. The problem is if everything is a blockbuster, nothing is a blockbuster. And that's what we hit this year. Every studio tried to put out 5 blockbusters.
Yep.
We had 2.
Well, also like, with the direct to video, you ran to Walmart or your video store, or whatever, and you picked up the video. Now it's like, okay, they put it on streaming. Which streaming service? Do you have, is one of the 5 you have one of the ones that it's out on?
Yeah. And also
it's like, we have to wait for them to condense a little bit more.
I mean, and that's the thing too. They just recently changed it where it's 3 months is the wait time from when it gets released in theaters to when it goes to streaming. It used to be, they kept shortening that time, and now like 3 months is not a long time to wait.
Dude, it's been okay. Pardon me, I'm off lemmy today. So Batman, I always like Batman as a reference. Batman 89 came out on June 23rd, 1989. The VHS came out September 5th, 1989. I know because my parents had to buy their first VHS. We were a Beta family, and we moved to VHS because Batman was not going to be released in Beta. Beta was was the superior format. Do not get me started on this. Beta was better. Betamax's cousin, was the standard for television production until 2006. So spare me your Beta feelings. However, the market did not like Beta, so we had to get a VHS player. That's less than 3 months. And this was the biggest movie of its era. So it's always been like this. Like with home video, stuff gets cranked out pretty quick, and it's always been that way. Drew said exactly, JD. I don't know what he meant when he specifically, but I agree. Thank you, Drew. VHS, that sound. Bro, let me tell you. We had to rewind videos, and I worked at Blockbuster. We got mad if you didn't rewind the video, because then I had to rewind them for you, and it was a pain in the ass. Kassan says fan service is a weak mechanism to incite reaction. I agree with him, by the way. Fan service can be good if used sparingly and to advance a story. Fan service for the sake of fan service is cheap. I agree.
Yeah.
Hot on with that, 100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Kassan also said over on X, ignoring the facts with closed eyes only leads to painful conclusions. Stories are dependent on the following: plot, characters, conflict, theme, internal logic. Movies have an extra consideration of the visual medium. The plot just didn't add up. Captain Marvel destroys the villain's home planet by mistake. Villains go around trying to rebuild it by settling water, atmosphere, and by stealing. Water, atmosphere, and the sun. I still think the plot was stupid.
Spaceballs.
You could have gotten all that from one planet. Why did they just?
Exactly.
Yeah, why did they? Why? That's a great point, John, that we didn't discuss. Why did they go to multiple planets to get all that stuff? Why did President Scroob have a better idea than Cree Lady, whose name I can't remember?
I mean, in the plot, she was doing it in order to go. She was doing it so that she could take out planets that were important to Carol Danvers.
Right.
But that doesn't make any sense when you're going through that much effort. Like, you're trying to save your people? Save your freaking people. Do one planet.
Lame.
What the hell?
Lame.
Right, I'm not going to read everything because he goes through all the dumb plot points. But then the integrity of the story is lowered in favor of consumerism. The audience can feel the mechanisms working behind the scene, and the core idea of a storytelling is to have the reader not notice the structure of the story
Yeah, we
or
don't
its
want to feel the
elements,
mechanisms going work
but
out.
to be fully immersed in the tale. The Marvels failed in that regard. So what did they do right? Apparently not much, as evident by the box office numbers in this on this post.
Chris, I'm not looking for logic here. He says in Spaceballs they only wanted the air. Yeah, but it's still the same story. They could have taken whatever, but they did. They took the trees. They took the snow on the mountains. Mega Maid sucked it all up. We watched it happen.
She went from
So
suck to blow.
And yet, Iman Vellani, right, is the life of the movie. Like it's
she's great.
really unfair to her that this flopped so hard because she's amazing.
I mean, this happens though in a lot of movies where movies don't quite land, but there's good performances. It's not the first time. It's not the last time it's going to happen.
and it's really funny too because she literally embodies the spirit.
Sorry, Kassan. That's actually kind of funny. The rating says it's Kassan Robert McKee. It's a great book. Stories. It's a must if you're a writer. Like you have to read that book. So, do you understand how a vacuum cleaner works?
Okay.
Why you want to come?
No.
You want to come
Okay.
clean my floor? It's
The
indiscriminate.
point I'm trying to make is Iman like literally embodies the spirit of Kamala Khan from the comic books. Like she literally is the character. She's just like she's the one that could bring everybody else together, and you're experiencing through her eyes, and it makes it fun. It's just unfair to her that this.
The problem is you had to do
Space-
homework to see this movie. You had to do
Yeah.
so much homework to see this movie.
Space
What's your point
tactician
then?
who is Thrawn Kill, who he was here the last time we were live. My wife owns a Captain Marvel sweater, and she is only interested in going to see the movie. The only temptation, she's not interested in seeing the movie. Sorry, the only temptation is the post-credit X scene.
I love
Um,
that part.
I honestly, and then Timothy Jones said, I honestly don't think it failed at all. It had a lot of fun, and though it was, and thought it was well done and acted. The humor is well delivered, and I thought that the action moved throughout the movie at a good pace and
You did.
didn't let up. I give it 3 marvelous stars out of 5.
I can't take these Tim Jones posts without a dad joke. I keep waiting. I keep like waiting for a punchline, and it never comes. And I never know what to say. Sour grapes, finer newspapers across this great land.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
miss your dad jokes, Tim. Make them more, please.
Yes.
He'll yeah.
Yes.
The accountants at Disney don't agree. It definitely failed. Yeah.
And
Like, I mean, I get the argument like it was a good movie, but it doesn't matter. The movie has to make money for them to continue to make movies.
You think so? And yet we're gonna get a bunch more Marvel movies.
Well, because Disney owns everything.
hopefully they slow down just a little bit.
The
Yeah.
march is on.
They are not going to slow down ever. All right. While I'm waiting
like-
for Chick.
It's like herpes. It just can't get rid of it. It's just gonna be with you forever.
Oh. Okay.
That's terrible.
I have herpes. Right here. It's annoying. Wrestling. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Is it?
Yes,
Yeah,
you
no,
keep getting all these skin diseases over and over again.
It's a problem because you're wrestling because you're in contact.
And you get it once and it's there. The
Ah,
fuck was that?
Sorry, I'm trying to.
Are we
load-
experiencing with ambiance?
No, I'm loading the Facebook comments. Doug Lennox, who's an actual friend of
God.
mine, says his response to why did it fail was, you know why. Andy Price said lack of story.
I think I called
line-
that guy a dork. I read something of his and I'm like, who is this dork? I didn't realize you guys were friends with him. So I'd apologize, but he was being a dork.
He actually was the lead singer in my band many moons ago. Andy Price says lack of storyline and
I
poorly
did, Chris.
executed lack of storyline and poorly executed characters and acting bad ending too. It felt like a TV special, cheap job. I mean,
Acting
that's
was
tough.
fine.
Yeah. Drew
was
Carlson
fine.
said,
I know
I'm
that guy.
not I'm not sure Multiverse of Madness was also tired tied to WandaVision, but 2 out of 3 of the main characters you don't know unless you've watched these shows. That's probably a big turnoff. Which, yeah, I agree. I think that was a big problem with it, was people didn't know who these characters were. Why were they going to go to the theater for them? So
Mhm.
And
Classy
it was easy. Go ahead.
Dave's doubling up on us. I don't know what's going on.
Dave's trying.
sorry.
We're
Technical
glitching.
issues run amok on Superhero Speak. Classy says Facebook. Now that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. A long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, okay, over on the Tiki Talks, Freddie C said, I've seen every other Marvel movie, but I thought this one was coming out later in the year and didn't even realize it was released. This is what I was talking
Marketing.
about, advertising.
That shouldn't happen.
No, not with Marvel. Not
Disney
at all.
didn't care. They didn't care about this movie. We got to face facts. Disney did not give a shit about this one.
And
Dave, what are you doing? Like, there's all kinds of words. It sounds like you have ghosts in your house.
I do, actually. Didn't you know that?
That's creepy.
But okay then.
I am trying not to play the video while I'm reading the comments.
Like a vampire, can we put a stake in social media madness this week? It is not agreeing with us.
Let's bag that and move on.
All right, fine. So
I have a lot of other stuff to go through anyway.
So yes, the movie failed.
And
everyone has a different opinion on why, and I do think that that's part of the problem too, right? Like no one could put their finger on like what actually happened.
Because there's a lot of reasons why it failed, right? Therein lies the problem. When there's so many legitimate reasons for pointing at why something didn't work, where it's like, and that's the answer is there's a plethora of them, right? One, you had to do too much homework. Two, there's a lot of animosity against the character and
and
this particular part.
Yeah,
I mean there is. It's real. Like whether it's stupid or not, it's real. Like there's a lot. Disney didn't advertise it very much. There's a lot. Dave doesn't come back. I'm commandeering the show.
Go for it.
I'm the captain now.
My plug got knocked out, and I need to use this light to see the plug, to see the outlet. Now, give me a second. Talks amongst yourselves.
Makes for great radio. So yeah, there's so many reasons why this movie failed, and all of them are legitimate. Like the script, like Kassan be the first. We were light on the movie last week or 2 weeks ago because we were entertained by it. But Kassan brought up a lot of good points about like the plot and the script and stuff like that. It was not perfect. We just made fun of the main villain's like arc and plot and like their idea. Like there's a lot of reasons why this movie failed. I mean, like I was entertained by it because I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was dumb and made me laugh.
But if you go,
Iman Vellani's great.
If you go after the bad guy though in a Marvel movie, like you have
they all
way
suck.
worse. Way
all
worse ones than that.
We have like 2 good Marvel villains, right?
Yeah.
Legitimately,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of good Marvel villains. The problem is the leads didn't do enough to overcome. They didn't.
Right. But at least, I mean, like at the least, this one had, a modicum of motivation. Like it wasn't as bad as whatever the hell his name was from Thor: Dark World, where it's like angry
Malekith?
at them,
Malekith.
Yeah.
Boy, is there a guy who farts out performances with less passion than Christopher Eccleston?
Not when he's not into it. That's for sure. I mean,
Not
in
even
the first season of Doctor Who, he was amazing. But but if he's not interested in something, he phones it in hard.
Phones it in. Like, I'll give you Destro. He's wanted nothing to do with Doctor Who since leaving either. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Now that you've had a chance to reflect on the plot, theme, internal logic, yeah, man. I mean, like I said, maybe sometimes I think that reviewing a movie right after seeing it is probably the worst time to review it because like I come out of the theater liking everything. Like you have to be really bad for me to like hate it. Bruce Willis, that's terrible. I don't know what we're talking about, but it's terrible. Bruce Willis jokes are not appropriate right now, Chris. Man's struggling. No, like I hate reviewing.
What are you doing? We don't do that here.
Make fun of Bruce Willis.
Yeah, we don't.
Not till he's dead. Then he's fair game. No, like I don't even remember what I was going to say. Dave's gift threw me off.
I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
I had a point I was trying to make, and then I'm totally derailed.
Ah,
Oh yeah,
Bad
I shouldn't
villain.
review a movie. It's hard to review a movie right
Oh,
away
yeah.
because I come out of the theater generally happy usually, and if I'm generally
Yeah.
happy when I leave the theater, I don't really think about it. You got to cook on something for a little while before you can really like give like an accurate review. Because
A good
sometimes I'm like, yeah,
analysis. Yeah.
like I was always like looking at Facebook posts from like years ago, and sometimes I'll run across movie posts. I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, I came out of Man of Steel the first time. It was a pretty good movie, and now I'm like,
Yeah.
what were you thinking? Again, I had to cook on it. That took me about 2 weeks to cook on it, and it all unraveled for me one night when I was thinking about it. Same with the first Justice League. The first Justice League, which we reviewed on the show, I kind of want to go back and listen. I was really kind on it. I hate that movie. Like, what the hell was I thinking?
You hate it with a fiery passion.
Not as much as I hate anything Zack Snyder related, but yeah. Let JD cook. That's great advice. Let me cook. My wife will say, please make him cook. Bruce Willis was putting out movies like he owed the mafia money for years. Well, yeah, it's a job. He was doing a job and providing a good living for his family.
And how do you know he didn't owe him money? All right.
I
Well,
ain't saying nothing.
that is all the social media madness for the week.
Thank God.
So if you would like to know how you can follow us on social media and be a part of social media madness for next week, here's our good friend Don to tell you more.
Enjoying the show? Do you want to be part of social media madness? Well, go ahead and head on over to superheroespeak.com. You'll find all the links you need, episodes of the show, comic reviews by Chris, and other articles. We're posting stuff on there all the time. And while you're there, you can also check out the rest of the Geek World All-Stars podcast network. Include great shows like the Pop Prison Power podcast, Colt 45, baby, So Wizard podcast, Fans on Patrol, the Gorilla Brain podcast, and of course, Superhero Speak. Hashtag GW All-Stars, and you're not going to be disappointed. So, make sure that you are commenting on our Twitter articles. Could be a poignant comment, could be a stupid one. Either way, gives you a chance for Dave to possibly mispronounce your Twitter handle. All right, well, I've rambled on enough. Let's head back to Dave and the gents on Superhero Speak.
Possibly mispronounced your Twitter handle. Randy says, yeah, Google Bruce Willis brain and you will understand why. Yeah, Bruce Willis has got dementia. He's not doing very well right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a
Bad. It's
advanced
very
form of aphasia, and
right.
it's only going to decline really, really fast from now on.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
All
bad. It's shame as we get into Die Hard season, right? Where everybody will trumpet Die Hard as one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time. They're wrong. It's Gremlins, but Die Hard is a good Christmas movie, and he's great.
and his wife has been talking about how hard it's been to deal with because he doesn't remember her sometimes now or something like that.
God, that's got to be awful. Like, that's got to be awful to wake up and your significant other has no memory of who you are.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it sucks.
didn't we learn how to handle that with 51st Dates?
Huh? What?
Moving on.
Well, thanks for that, Don. And yeah, let's take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with the news. And here's a new one for you, JD. So you'll be happy.
Oh, good.
Some podcasts are like this.
Eat Uber Eats every day. I never cook. I keep an empty refrigerator. Dad's like, son, don't you think it'd be so much cheaper if you cooked? And I said, no, not really, actually, if you think about it. I said, let's talk about that scenario. Calling the valet, getting downstairs in the elevator to valet, getting in the G-Wagon, burning fuel, sitting in traffic, go to Publix, trying to find a parking spot at Publix, getting out, looking around the store for what I want. Dude, I want fucking chicken or steak. And the food, all the ingredients, going home, parking again, going back up the elevator, getting the pots and pans out, cooking like a fucking idiot, cooking, saving money. The soap, the Dial soap that costs $8 a little bottle. Clean the dishes, clean the plates, fucking nerds. If you make any more than $15 an hour, that whole 4-hour ordeal is worth paying an Uber driver the extra 10% to bring the shit to you. It's worth it. Oh, and by the way, the restaurant makes food better than you.
And some podcasts are like this.
Also, I used to think that iron that's in cereal was iron.
It is.
Is it? Yes, Joey.
Metal?
Yes, Joey.
Is it really?
Yes, Joey.
No, time out.
Yes, Joey. That's why if
We're
you
eating
cook
metal? You can't eat metal.
Yes, Joey. Yes.
What?
That's why if you cook in a cast iron skillet or something, it enriches the food in iron.
Wait, no. Yeah, iron is like iron, bro? Like pumping iron?
Yes, Joey.
No, it's not.
Yes.
I'm very confused by this.
It's okay.
Iron is iron? Iron is dead ass iron.
Yes, dude.
But is it hard normally? Like what is it?
Joey, it's iron. It's like there's no way.
What's its form?
Iron.
Solid, liquid, gas, plasma.
Iron.
No.
Joey.
Solid, liquid, gas, plasma. Those are the forms.
I hope this gets picked up by one of those
dude,
hyper Instagram scientists that are just
Yeah.
let's break this down a minute. And then
But only one podcast is where you can get in-depth analysis like this.
Good on John Claude editing on this one. Having to every time it cuts back to him kind of rattling. But I did laugh that the love scene, you saw his dick twitch while he was on the crucifix. He was like, yeah, that's what started.
I remember that one piece. It was so good.
You know what always made me laugh? Because I did hate the fact that they played those flashbacks we already saw again. I hated that, but I did enjoy the one when they were just finishing making sweet love, and Fender's so about murdering them. He's watching them sleep.
What are you guys doing?
But the one dude with the stick is I can't see, so he uses his stick to move the curtain out the way so he can get a good view.
It's like, he just finished inside of her, and he's like, "Hey, you guys ready to get murdered?"
You are now listening to Cult 45.
This is Beat 'em Down.
And I'm Random Randy Savage.
Find us on all your podcatching apps like Podbean or Spotify. And follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Or just go to www.cult45podcast.com.
Also, check out our YouTube for that sweet, sweet video content.
Cult 45, the only podcast that puts hair on your chest.
Okay, I want to say that the guy,
I see JD rubbing his hands. I've got something to say.
At least the guy who was asking what form the iron was taking, at least he got 4 states of matter, but he didn't include Bose-Einstein condensate, superfluid, thermionic, fermionic condensate? So at least they got that many. But otherwise, oh my God.
There's so much
really iron.
There's so much to unpack with that commercial. Randy, you've done it again. You every week manage to make me feel worse for us as a society. First of all, I don't know who that rich buttfuck was, but I hate him in the first commercial. Oh my God, you have to go to Publix and drive there. What a tool.
No, he had to call a car to,
call for the valet. That's what I'm like.
The valet, yeah.
I hate this man.
And you have to cook like a chump.
I hope someone finds. You remember that nail gun in Lethal Weapon 2 that they used to shoot people? I hope someone finds that with him because that guy needs that. Second commercial. Holy shit. Second podcast. I say this every time Randy puts out a commercial, and every time he proves me wrong. I think we found the dumbest motherfucker. That's him. Iron. He didn't get it. Iron.
Iron is iron. It's like saying glass is glass, steel is steel.
I don't have words for how dumb that man was.
Yes, vitamins and minerals are actual vitamins and minerals.
I'm going to guess this man got no higher than a C in high school chemistry.
Possibly.
Yeah, that might even be generous. That might have been just a nice teacher. Randy says we can always find someone dumber. And you're up for the challenge. I know you are, sir.
But Randy, you don't know anybody in Congress to ask, so.
Maybe he do. Okay. Did you guys know that Cyborg is the unproduced sequel to Masters of the Universe?
Wait, what? Who? Where?
Yeah. What? Cyborg, the movie that Randy was watching for Cult 45.
Oh, yeah.
Is the unproduced sequel to Masters of the Universe.
How does that work?
They were going to make Masters of the Universe 2.
And they used the money instead to make Cyborg.
Not the money, the script.
It's another one of those where they repurposed the script since they
repurposed the script to make Cyborg. Meh, next week might be more porn stars. The porn stars are at least funny. Like I get a laugh out of the porn stars. They're actually smarter than the other guys you typically use, which is funny.
And the funny thing is, we also get a good reaction out of John. So,
dude, John gets so embarrassed when the porn stars start talking about penises and stuff like that. Like he's got that blue light that shines on him, but you can see he starts turning pink. Like right now, you can see the color in John's complexion changing. You are such a Pennsylvania Dutch prude. And I love you for it, man. It entertains me.
I'm from Connecticut,
but you live amongst.
You've been living with the Amish for too long.
Yeah, you live with the Amish. You've abided by. They made up a word by their customs. The porn stars are funny, but yeah, that was good. I want to watch or listen to this week's episode of Cult 45 because Cyborg kind of rules. It's kind of terrible, but it's also kind of awesome terrible, like in that 80s awesomely horrible movie way.
Yes,
there were a lot of those. Yeah,
like is it a Canon film or a Golden Globus? The same guys. I forget if it's Canon or Golden.
I think it's Canon because wasn't
Canon sucks ass. Canon was Masters, as was Superman 4. Boy, did they have a string of turds. Chris says I'm cool with porn stars. I know you are, Chris. I'm fully aware of that. Because they're usually pretty smart. Yeah, Randy says Canon film. I knew Canon, Golden Globus, same thing.
Classy just says porn stars. I mean,
Quaker, not Quacker. Quaker. No C. Quacker. John lives amongst the quackers.
I mean, we do have ducks out here, but you guys are going to drive me quackers. I mean, come on.
That's awesome.
It's too good. All right, let's get to the news. Let's start with the article that you brought, JD, because you don't normally suggest articles.
Oh, I saw one and I figured we had to talk about this one, please.
So apparently, I didn't read the whole thing yet. The producer of 47 Ronin,
the director of the movie 47 Ronin, which you've never seen. Let's be honest, it was a bomb. It sucked ass.
Blew Netflix sci-fi series budget on stocks and crypto, and I started reading that, and I'm like, okay, so he made some money, blah blah, but then he turned around and like the money he made, he went and spent on designer sports cars.
Dave, he didn't make the money. They gave him money to make a show, and he just spent it on crypto and stocks and cars. And we only know this stuff because his ex-wife is bringing it up as part of the divorce settlement. And then the asshole brought Netflix canceled the show. And then this asshole is bringing Netflix because they didn't pay him his whole This man wasted like $60,000. Excuse me, $60 million.
Yeah,
and Netflix never saw anything about it. I quit making movies far too early. Like apparently they were throwing Netflix series at anybody. All I had to do was just stick around and continue to suck, and it would have been just fine. Obviously, too slow in the typo. Predictive text makes everyone. No, Chris, that wasn't dumb. Quackers was awesome. That made my day 100%. That was one of the great.
I don't know.
Predictive text is one of the greatest horrible blessings we've had as society.
But I don't. How do you get away with it? Because like they give you money
no idea.
Make a show. Aren't you supposed to give it back to them if you don't make the show?
I was always under that assumption. This guy said, "No, fuck you. I'm putting this in Dogecoin."
Which is like the worst. If anyone who follows Dogecoin is like a joke. Like,
oh yeah, it was literally a joke meme. But he made money on it, and then he spent money on it. He bought his wife said he bought a Ferrari and 5 Rolls Royces, not a Rolls Royce, 5 Rolls Royces. 5. What does this? I mean, like this man made one movie and it sucked. I'm absolutely astounded. I'm astounded.
This guy also claimed to discover COVID's transmission, and he could predict lightning. That's what he said.
What?
If you
this guy Rinch, right?
Yeah,
Carl Rinch. Right? Yeah. While he gambled away the millions of dollars and all that. So,
if you hold up a piece of metal,
lightning.
I can predict metal too. Damn it, I'm ruining that joke. I can predict lightning too. Hold up a piece of metal in the sky, and there's a good chance you're gonna get hit by lightning.
Yeah,
What?
it's just it's
What an
weird
asshat.
stuff.
What an ass. This is all time. Like, this is the problem. This is where we are, right? And we've praised Netflix on this show. He could have bought GameStop techs and made up better. He made out fine with the Dogecoin. He actually sold at the right time. The problem was he kept spending the money. He spent budget, not personal money. He took the budget and was spending it. He spent the budget. That should be like, you should be going to jail.
So is this kind of feel the same kind of thing we did back in the internet boom, where venture capitalists would walk up to anybody who had a website and say, here's a couple of $1 million, go, make us money, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And like now we're in the streaming wars, and it's like they're desperate for shows, and they're like, walk up to any old guy and it's like, oh, you have a good idea for a show? Yeah, here you go. Here's a couple of $1 million. Go for it, Although this was 61 million, so
$60 million. And it didn't even go up his nose. That's the most amazing. I'm sure some of it did, but I mean, the majority of it apparently didn't.
27 million in crypto bets alone.
Oh my god!
$27 million. He wasn't even buying Bored Ape drawings.
Yeah, no, and those crashed hard. Those are
of course it did. It's not
they're
real.
worthless now. Yeah, I know.
Fucking name's worthless. The NFT thing, like anyone who could have told the people who are trying to tell me that NFTs were going to have value, I'm like, you're buying a GIF, like you're buying a JPEG. I can make you a JPEG, but not this one. I'm like, yeah, watch it. I showed, I didn't want it on my phone, and I took a screenshot, and I said, now we have the same thing. And he got all mad at me. He's like, no, this is proprietary. I'm like, no, it isn't. That's not how art works.
That's not how the internet works.
No.
Like, okay, you've got a thing that shows you own it, but it doesn't matter. Everyone can get a copy of it. Like, it's stupid.
Yeah. Well, like Seth Green was the worst because he was like all in on the Bored Ape thing, and then someone held his Bored Ape hostage, and that dumb motherfucker paid the hostage.
Yeah.
Paid the ransom, excuse me.
So
what an idiot.
Yeah. Speaking of idiots, how at Netflix do you like the guy who gave them money must like did you do any research on this guy?
Like, he should be tarred and feathered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's you don't lose a major corporation 61 million and walk away unscathed. Well, unless you're at a certain level, and then you walk away with probably that much in a golden parachute.
It sounds like, well, usually Hollywood guys don't walk away with golden parachutes. He should make a documentary on how not to embezzle money. He actually shouldn't because he doesn't know how to not embezzle money. Like, I know there's something going on with him in Netflix right now. I could imagine, like, what did they not read the contract? Like the Duffer Brothers are going, wait, we didn't have to make a show. Like we could have just bought toys.
Yeah.
Like, it's just astounding to me. Yeah, I read that article. I'm like, I have to share this with the guys because I am dumbfounded.
I don't understand it. Like, it's insane, and it makes me want to pitch an idea to Netflix
tomorrow. I'll be like, hey, I got a show. I got a guy. I got a 10-book series. Do you want to give me money for that? I mean, it's real.
Yeah.
Like, there's really books there. Ugh. Unbelievable.
All right. Well, speaking of movers and shakers in the industry, Dave Filoni, we're all familiar with his work, has now been made Filoni, sorry. Has now been I've mistyped it in my notes and I mispronounced it. Filoni is now the chief creative officer over at Lucasfilm. So that's interesting. Good.
Well
John,
deserved too.
Well, I mean, like, hopefully he does better than than Kevin over at Marvel. Like, it seems like the more they escalate this, we're going to make an expanded universe and all these shows and everything and a movie and all that. Because I think they were already talking about canceling the movie that was supposed to tie together Ahsoka and all the other shows and all that.
I have not heard that discussion.
No, I have not heard that. No,
I just
one of the things he said in an interview was he used to be like not part of the conversations to steer things. He wasn't part. Now he is making those conversations, and it's interesting.
Well, because let's look at. Okay, Dan. I'm sorry. I'll finish.
No, it's interesting because that's leading to a lot of people speculating this is the first step towards getting rid of Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh, I'm all for that. Yeah. Also, he's single-handedly responsible for like most of the canon that we know now, from Clone Wars and Rebels and all that other stuff. Like he's literally built up the Star Trek, the Star Wars universe. Sorry, I'm watching Star
You've
Trek Discovery.
suddenly angered a lot of nerds.
I know, right? I'm so
minus 10 nerd points.
yeah. But so I mean, this could be good. Go ahead, JD.
Now here's the thing: like Filoni's was Lucas's right hand guy for a long time, right?
Yeah.
He basically mentored under George Lucas. He was the showrunner for Clone Wars and Rebels, right? He's there. And then he was kind of cut off from everything. He still worked for Lucasfilm, but he lost a lot of like sway and power until Jon Favreau said, "Hey, I'm going to work with Dave Filoni on the Mandalorian." And then people went, "Oh, this guy's good." And it took the fail. Like Kevin, I hate being the people. I hate being with the guys that shit on Kathleen Kennedy because I don't like them, but they're kind of right. And that's what kind of it's like that onion meme, like the worst person makes a good point. That's how I feel whenever people talk about Kathleen Kennedy.
When I talked about her a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, you guys were on my back about that. But
we were.
It just she keeps getting worse. Like you keep finding out more and more about how she
smacked out of her job.
She's ruining the franchise. So, but
she
anyway,
she also didn't do a very good job in Indiana Jones either.
Yeah.
She's just I know Lucas loves her. She's been with Lucas. She's been Lucasfilm forever. But there's a lot of bad decisions that have gone into this. Her worst decision was not hiring a guy, a single vision to guide the sequel trilogy. That's the worst mistake she could have made.
Yeah.
Because the sequels were all over the place. Somehow Palpatine came back.
I know that's going to be a meme for a very long time.
Forever. Classy says Filoni will save Star Wars. I think he already has, sir.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's sad that it took Favreau working with him for people to realize that he was good, because if you look, this goes back to American ideas about animation, right? Like if they went back and if the people who saw Clone Wars and Rebels, which aren't just kids shows, they would have known how good he was already, and they did. So
that's the problem. And in Hollywood, especially, if you don't sit at the big, and this happens in a lot of creative. It's like I was having a conversation with one of my wrestling buddies about pro wrestling buddies about this, how this one company won't hire people who didn't come from the other company because like, well, what have they done? It's like, well, they failed. They were the big company and failed. Like, so it's like, if you don't have a seat at the table already, it's hard to get at the table. And then, if there's somebody that should have been sitting at the maybe not the driver's seat, but having the Kevin Feige position in Star Wars to begin with, it was Dave Filoni. I mean, should have been from jump. Kassan says Dave Filoni is saying with the same negative pushback for the direction he wants to take Star Wars. I don't know much about him to make the judgment. All I know is the stuff he's done that he has been associated with works. I don't know if he should be directing movies necessarily, because I don't think I'm of the mind that filmmakers should direct. I think when people who don't know how to make movies are tasked to making movies, then the rest of the people who know how to make movies have to figure out how to finish his movie. But from what I understand, although Ahsoka is a favorite from Clone Wars, there's a strong voice who doesn't want her to be the main reason why Anakin fell to the dark side. I don't think did we leave off? I didn't get that vibe.
She's not the main reason. I mean, according to canon
No,
she's not the main reason.
She's not the main reason, but the idea was Ahsoka blames herself for him falling. Yeah, that's it's not.
That's just character motivation.
And it didn't help that the rest of the Jedi Council kicked her out, and that did help Anakin get pissed off at them and started the whole downward spiral. But it's not the main reason, because he was already dating Amidala and all that. And
dating. Chris said she wasn't.
Dating. Yes.
Dating. Yeah. They have children. Like, and robot. Never mind. I was gonna take this into one of the Randy's commercials. So I'll pull back my gross joke.
Danny! What are you doing? We don't do that here.
Thank you, Dave. I needed that. No, I think it's a good move for Star Wars in general. I mean, like, realistically, I don't know if he can make movies, but I think he can play the Kevin Feige role of helping guide the movies. And Kevin Feige kind of needs some help right now too.
Classy said Anakin was a lucky guy to have help.
Fucking A was he ever. She was older than him too. Like, imagine being 9 and this hot high school chick you have a crush on all of a sudden is into you when you're an older guy. That doesn't happen. He was like 18 and she was like 26, right? Like, we have words for that. We have a word for that today. It's called pedophilia. But yeah.
Or grooming. All right.
Oh my God. Was Anakin groomed? That's a great topic of conversation.
No, it's not. No.
What are you doing? We don't do that here.
Okay, we're going to need a whole bunch more of those if we're going to do that kind of thing.
You could make that argument from Phantom Menace on, though, sir.
So let's move on. Let's talk about some casting news.
Is this real? Is this? I mean, I cannot. Pedro Pascal, right, as Mr. Fantastic.
No,
wait,
not that
hold
one
on.
yet.
Oh,
we got our Lex Luthor.
Oh, sorry.
Nicholas Hoult was Nicholas Hoult has been cast as Lex Luthor in Superman Legacy.
What do we think? What do we think?
Yeah, you go first. Really?
I like it. He's good.
I mean, I like the idea of him being close to the actors being closer in age.
He's going to be 35 by the time they make the movie. That ain't that young. Yeah, he looks young because everybody looks young.
You're right.
You know,
right, but he's not like 60 and Superman.
I don't want Lex Luthor to be 60. 30. That's fine. You know.
Yeah.
They cast Tessmacher too, by the way.
Yo.
We'll come back. Sarah Sampaio, but
I don't know who that is, but she looks cute. So I don't know who she is. And they also casted a guy who looks like Jimmy Olsen to play Jimmy Olsen. That's pretty good casting, I'd say. Nicholas Hoult. So he was Hank McCoy in First Class.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And
Hank McCoy,
in First Class and in Days of Future Past. He
was in that vampire movie with Nicolas Cage.
Renfield. He was Renfield. He was the lead crazy guy, the one we follow in Fury Road. Shiny and chrome. So we know he looks like Paul.
He was in Deadpool 2. He was in Deadpool 2. I don't remember. I'm looking at his IMDb.
He's talented. He was the kid in About a Boy.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's a good. I'm not saying he's not a good actor. I just, at the moment, I can't see it. I mean, maybe once he shaves his head.
He walks Fury Road. He's bald the whole movie.
Yeah. Good actor.
Chris says good actor, probably good choice. I agree. I mean, he's very talented. I think it's a good choice. I think Gunn has made very very interesting choices with all of these. Where you go, what? And then you look and you go, yeah, okay, I can see it. I believe Classy disputes you. Davey says he's in talks, but not yet cast.
Well, according to Deadline, he's cast.
I would trust Deadline. They're not.
And I'm pretty sure. What's his face?
I thought Gunn tweeted it.
Yeah,
too.
Gunn came out, said, "Yeah, like here's my cast for the movie." Yeah. So
I'm happy with it. I think these are all good choices. I'm down for Randy says I'm down for Nicholas Hoult. He did a good job in Renfield. I need to see that movie. He was in Deadpool 2 for a second. Who did he play in Deadpool 2?
He was in Jack the Giant Slayer. That's where I've seen him before. Jack the Giant Slayer.
How was that random?
It's one of my
trying to figure out where you knew him from all this time.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Fair.
And I knew he looked familiar. I couldn't figure it out, and I had to search his IMDb page.
Fair.
Did you see Renfield?
No, I didn't see Renfield.
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it yet either. Like I don't
know
if it's good.
I went to the boat Dracula movie, not the comedy Dracula movie.
Yes.
I'm the only person that liked the boat Dracula movie, it turns out.
We got 2 Dracula movies this year. Isn't that
Both
weird?
failed. Both failed.
Hey, 2 years ago we got 4 Pinocchio movies. So
this is true. Warner Brothers has been sitting on a Salem's Lot remake for 2 years. Put that thing out. Oh, Quick says, yeah, Quick. Okay, fair.
Yeah, that's right. He was.
I like
Beast.
this.
We said that he was Beast. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
I like it. I like it. I'm a fan.
No,
I think this would be a good call.
Yeah, and he's got chops. I don't know.
He used to date Jennifer Lawrence, really so respect.
Oh.
Hey, respect.
Yeah, I mean, again, it is I like. It's funny because they're calling him Fresh Face, but he's been in a lot of.
He's already 35.
Well, also it's like he's also been in quite a few superhero related things already too.
He's been working consistently since he was like 10.
Yeah.
Like this
Yeah.
dude's been around. This is a veteran actor. This isn't like some kid that just fell off the back of a truck. I don't know why I made that analogy for a movie, but
He was
like
in the
he's
Sand
been around.
Council,
but you're
the
right.
current
Yeah,
war.
but like
Yeah.
I saw 3 or 4 articles where
Tolkien?
they're calling him fresh face, and it's like,
Well,
really?
they're probably written. They're either written by idiots or AI. So they're dumb.
He was in The Menu too, and I think a lot of people might have probably seen that one too.
I did not see
The Menu. I've heard good things about.
Was it on the menu?
It had Anya Taylor-Joy in it. So.
Excuse me, sir. Randy says he hasn't played a villain. He was a villain. I don't care what anyone says. In Fury Road, Shiny and Chrome.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't disagree
He
with
has
that.
an arc, but he at least starts out as a villain. So Nicholas Holt. Oh, this is Mark Ellis is here. And Nicholas Holt is also in the upcoming Nosferatu remake. This is a vampire period. We really are in another vampire period. I think all the production stills I've seen from the new Nosferatu remake look really cool. You know what's interesting? Count Orlok is in public domain.
Wait, they're remaking the silent vampire Nosferatu movie?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Be the second time.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Herzog did that in the 70s. Too.
Is Blumhouse doing it?
Maybe.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
I forget.
That seems like something they would do.
It does actually. That's why I didn't want to say no or yes. I'm not sure. But it looks, like I said, all the production material I've seen from it looks pretty cool. I haven't seen a trailer yet, but they just wrapped filming. I'm in. I'm down. I like that movie.
Does he look like Nosferatu from the original movie? Like the elongated?
I haven't really shown like a lot of this. Yeah. They're steering right into that whole thing.
Okay.
Like they're being very true to Dr. Murnau.
You want to hear a really weird factoid about Nosferatu, about the movie?
Sure.
In Patricia Briggs's urban fantasy books, that movie was made because the guy who played the vampire was the real vampire and what he looked like at the time, because he was so older than all the other vampires.
Can I conjecture you on this one? That is a movie.
It's just,
that is a film, my friend.
Yes.
Shadow of the Vampire with Willem Dafoe, where Count Orlok, where the vampire is actually a vampire and he's killing people on the set.
Yeah, so it's meta. Okay.
Yeah. That is, by the way, so if you've never seen Shadow of the Vampire, again, it's John Malkovich and Willem Dafoe. It is freaking awesome. It's like a dramedy horror kind of thing. Like it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it.
Okay. Wow. John Malkovich.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
No, but I mean, like, what? That's got to be good.
Yeah, it's good.
Cool. All right, guys, we have to talk about.
Is this real? Let's just rip the Band-Aid right off.
All right,
I want to do this. Is Pedro Pascal actually Mr. Fantastic? I've seen a lot of conjecture, but nothing official.
I'm saying, okay, so there's a lot of rumors floating around about who the Fantastic Four cast is right now. Nothing is confirmed. They've thrown out Pedro Pascal is the one where like a lot of people are like, oh, that's great.
I do like that. I think that's an awesome call.
No, I don't. I actually don't.
Oh,
I don't.
Get out of here. Okay, we'll revisit this. Vanessa Kirby, I've heard as Invisible Woman. I'm not sold on that one.
Pedro Pascal has the range, though. He can make you believe he's a completely different character.
I don't.
So
I don't.
He'll come up with the personality.
I like everything. I like everything he's been in that I've watched. I think he's a great actor.
You're a liar. You hated Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say.
No, I'm the only one that liked it in this group.
Oh no.
And you're dumb. That movie was that movie sucked.
That movie was horrible.
It was kind of awful. It's trash. But he's pretty fun in it. Warm Bodies, another good movie featuring Holt. I don't know that movie.
Yeah, he was. He was the.
Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm. Dave sent me this thing. Some guy did some AI mock-ups. Joseph Quinn, the guy who got famous last year in Stranger Things.
They also were talking about what's his face.
I kind of like that actually.
Anakin Scott, not Anakin. Ben Solo, or Kylo Ren.
He turned it down. He turned down the role.
Oh, okay, that was one that was floating
Mr.
around.
Fantastic, yeah. He was offered both Mr. Fantastic and Doom, and he said, "Nah." John Krasinski does not want to be Mr. Fantastic. He did it in the multiverse as a joke and for fun, but he has said, "I don't want to do that."
Yeah, you can only pressure. We're only allowed one pressure on him, one job, And that he was pressured into. I mean, like everybody wanted him to be it, so he did it as a thing for the fans. And now that he's done with it,
some fun. Yeah, he does not want to. A lot of these actors do not want to do the Marvel movies because it's such a commitment. Although I don't know what
Drew says no on Pascal. Can't he adopt the Old Man Logan comic with the baby Hulk?
No, he cannot. I like Pedro Pascal. Well, he's basically doing that that's basically Mando. I'm a fan of Pedro Pascal. I think everyone's a fan of Pedro. He was really great. Remember, he was Oberon Martell. He's Maxwell Lord, right? And he's actually he's got a character.
He's the Mandalorian. I mean, come on.
He's Mando. I think he could do a great job as Mr. Fantastic. I don't know why people are fighting me on this one. I think he could be great.
Just remember though, he is 48 years old. Like,
so what?
If they want,
have you looked at?
I was going to say that's my first problem with him. I want someone a little younger who can grow into the role a little bit better.
Reed Richards is old. That's his whole character. He's got since 1961. The man has had gray hair.
Well, yeah, but we need somebody who's going to last at least 10 to 12 years in a franchise.
I know people with dark hair that start growing gray in their 20s. Like that doesn't mean anything.
Reed's old. Reed's always been old. No, man.
No, he's mature. He's not necessarily old.
He's going to be computer generated for most of his stretchiness. You need a good actor. Robert Downey Jr. is old. And we loved him as Iron Man. You guys are all wrong. Pedro is great.
No.
Yeah.
I don't buy him as Mr. Fantastic. I don't.
You are a judgmental person. He is an artist.
Here's the other thing that I'm having an issue with, just with the idea of the movie in general and Reed Richards. Reed Richards is supposed to be the smartest man in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, but he's also yes and no, right? Because Reed's like this genius, but he's oblivious to everything that goes on around him.
Right. I just meant pure intelligence, not common sense. And my issue is that we've had Tony Stark in that role for so long. Tony Stark invented time travel.
Tony dead.
I get that, but you now have to give us a character and make us believe he's smarter than the guy that did all the stuff before him.
Could be from another universe. I said the best way to do the Fantastic Four is they're travelers.
Yeah.
The best way to do the Fantastic Four, they're travelers. They got here from another place.
And also remember...
Avengers...
Go ahead.
I was reading Drew's comment. In Avengers Earth's Hero, Sue Storm looks just like Margot Robbie. Margot busy. They give her a lot. She got that Barbie money now. She ain't playing the second fiddle to Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah. And you got to remember, the intelligence of Mr. Fantastic and Iron Man, they're two different types of intelligence, right? Like Tony Stark is a futurist. He makes plans and plans and plans, but I mean, they kind of did this in the comics a couple of years ago, where Mr. Fantastic is like, you give him something and he's hell on wheels. He'll figure it out no matter what it is. But he doesn't really do the whole holistic intelligence thing like Iron Man did. It was. I'm not explaining it as well as it was explained in the comics, like a couple of years ago.
Can we all agree Miles Teller sucked in the Fan Four Stick film?
Oh, well, the whole movie sucked.
Yeah.
That movie exists.
I'm just saying, I'm saying whoever writes this movie is going to have a difficult job getting these characters right and making them believable to their comic book counterparts, I think.
And getting around the stink of the last couple of movies.
Well, fortunately, the entire Marvel universe has a stink around it right now, so you're wallowing with the pigs at this point.
Yep.
Here's a more important question: Doctor Doom. Who would want to see play him?
I would have said Adam Driver, but he said no. I would have said Doctor Doom. I mean, I would have said Adam Driver, but he wants nothing to do with it.
Same difference.
Freudian slip. I see.
Miles Teller, worst casting choice ever. Yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah. Terrible. Yeah, I can't think of who I'd want to play Doctor Doom right now.
I can't either, to be honest with you. There's nobody. Like, they were saying Mads Mikkelsen, but we already saw him in Doctor Strange.
I did see that, yeah.
I mean, I feel like we've been to that well before. I don't know. There's got to be other spooky German guys out there. Is there a Skarsgård?
There's usually a Skarsgård lying around somewhere.
Like,
Is there
I
any
just
debate on the quality of
Skarsgård.
Stand For? No.
No, that movie sucked. I don't know, man. Like, there's nobody at the moment, excuse me, that I'm like, yeah, man, that dude can play Doom.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of crazy rumors. I mean, there's another one that came out saying that they're going to have the Silver Surfer in the movie and make it a woman, but you can't bring in the Silver Surfer that quick anyway.
In Fantastic Four 1, that'd be a terrible idea.
Yeah, really bad idea.
Yeah,
so
no, please.
So we're going to talk about what we thought about the trailers, or?
Yeah, we are.
No,
JD just wanted to jump ahead.
I want to jump in.
Yeah.
I really wanted to talk about this. Let's talk about the trailers. Madam Web looks like butt cheeks.
I was going to say.
Oh my god, does this look terrible? Holy shit, does this look bad?
Okay, hold on. I thought that after I watched it the first time, and then I watched it again, and I thought about it. And I said, the concept. Hold on. I think the concept is not a bad idea.
Yes, you're right. The concept is Spider-Man. Spider-Man works.
But it looks like this is going to be butt cheek execution. Like,
it looks terrible. It looks absolutely terrible. People are like, oh, you're just mad because we're getting 3 Spider-Girls. No, I'm mad because they keep making Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man. And they put Ezekiel as the villain and not freaking Moreland? Like, come on, man. That's stupid.
Wait, they give you Ezekiel, and then they put him in a Spider-Man costume.
Spider-Man costume.
So
Which Ezekiel doesn't wear.
Spider-Man.
Why do these people dress like Spider-Man if there's no Spider-Man in this universe? It doesn't make any sense. Why does Venom look like Spider-Man? Why does Carnage look like Spider-Man? Why do any of these people keep doing anything with Spider-Man when they don't do anything with Spider-Man?
Why do they shoot webs? Yeah.
Why? I don't understand that. Sydney Sweeney looks pretty good as the one Spider-Man. She looks great in the costume, but I have zero interest in any of this.
And that's
so
another thing.
stupid.
Right. Why is she in that costume? Because that's inspired on the costume of Spider-Man. Yes.
Why is anyone dressed like Spider-Man? There is no Spider-Man in this universe. Why? Thanks, Christopher Smith. Like, why? Why? It doesn't make any sense. Why do we keep dealing with Spider-Man when there's no Spider-Man? It's Sony. They can just make another fucking Spider-Man movie. Jesus Christ.
Hey, don't worry. Craven will save it.
Classy says, Madam Web is going to save cinema in 2024.
This movie looks so terrible. It's going to be another Morbius, and like people are going to make it a meme movie. They'll be like, "You guys are mean because it's girls in the movie." No, because Spider-Man is actually their Jesus Christ. He's my Jesus Christ too, and I respect Spider-Man.
If they had just worked a better deal out with Marvel and weren't trying to be like, these are our toys, and just made this all shared in the universe, it would make more sense.
And again, this comes down to, we have to make movies using these characters or we lose the rights, right?
Yes, correct.
So,
I'm the Final Destination of the Spider-Verse.
I know.
It's kind of what it looks like. Why are they dressed like Spider-Man? The one, like, Arana has like the Iron Spider appendages. Yep. It doesn't make sense.
None of it makes. Well, no. You know what really doesn't make sense? Did you notice that it looks like this is set in the early 80s or something?
I didn't even
like
get
some
that
shots.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben is supposed to be. So you're tell me Spider-Man dressed like all these dorks?
It's Ben and Mary Parker.
That.
So this is like retrograde.
God, no, it's like retrograde plutonium that'll kill you if you touch it. This is retrograde ass. This is.
I think that's what takes me off even more, is that they're tying Peter's parents into the origin of Madam Web. It's like, why? Like,
we didn't need that. Yeah.
They tried to give us this weird Spider-Man with the Amazing Spider-Man series where there was like some weird intrigue about Peter's parents being spies.
Yeah, that's from the Ultimate Spider-Man, which is whatever. Ultimate Spider-Man's a good book. The original Bendis Bagley stuff, that's really good comics. That being said, because Cassandra Webb is an old lady in a chair like Mobius, who's blind, not Dakota Johnson, who looks shockingly like her father.
Who was originally a mutant too. She wasn't like she wasn't really tied to the Spider-Verse at all. That came later.
If you can't bring me, unless she's playing a role in the Secret Wars, bringing Spider-Man to War World so he could team up with Captain America. That was in the the Marvel TV
So-
show. And that was good stuff. Movie looks terrible.
Good old
I think
Sony. You can always count on them to ruin
besides
something.
them using her in the '90s cartoon, the most the most stories I can remember from the comics with her is the Juggernaut. Nothing Can Stop the Juggernaut story with
she is in that one.
Spider-Man. Yeah, because
She's
he's
like-
coming after her.
Yeah, and she's like, "Excellent job, Peter Parker," and he's like, because he got his ass kicked by the Juggernaut the entire time. Great comic, great single issue comic. You know who created Madam Web?
Who?
Denny O'Neil.
Oh,
Yeah. Remember that legendary Denny O'Neil run on Spider-Man? Exactly. Bingo.
yeah, and that story is also dumb too because he gets to her and takes her out of the chair, but she needs the chair to live. So he's like, "Oh, she's useless to me," and it was like, "Oh my god!"
Guess
I
I'll
like
try
Roger
something else.
I like Roger Stern. It's a fun story. This movie looks like bat turds.
Balls.
Ezekiel would be fine. That dude doesn't look nothing like Ezekiel's supposed to be. That's who you should hire John Malkovich to play.
Ezekiel is
play
old man
Ezekiel.
old
Yes,
Spider-Man, right? Or
with
old man
no
Spider-Man,
shoes.
right?
He wears no
Yeah,
shoes.
it's funny. Like you're right. This
I
movie's
am
gonna-
right. Why?
This movie's gonna suck balls, and
Yes.
they're gonna come out and say the only reason you don't like it is because it's starring 3 women.
No,
but yet
I don't like.
No,
I don't like it
we're
'cause there's no
equal
Spider-Man.
opportunity here. We'll go after anybody. It doesn't matter. Women, men, doesn't matter. We don't care. It has nothing to do with who's there. It's how bad the script is.
Yeah, Markella says like the Spider-Verse animated movies have allowed Sony to tell any kind of story in the Spidey adjacent universe. Yes, and they do a great job in the animated movies. That's
but
my
here's-
favorite movie of the year.
But Marcellus, Spider-Man is in those movies.
Yeah,
it is Spider-Man. Like Miles is Spider-Man, and Peter's
oh my
in
god!
there.
If you're gonna try to tell me Peter dresses like that because he's inspired by Ezekiel, I'm gonna run my face into a wall.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Oh, I hate these movies so much.
That's why the Spider-Verse movies work because it is Spider-Man. Like, yeah, these don't work because they suck.
It's
the same thing. But here's the thing too. Like, there are also people saying that about the Marvels, and it's like, people are hating because it's women, and I'm like, no, I don't think that's true.
Oh no,
either
the
at this
Marvels.
point.
I can tell you right now, the Marvels was a better film than whatever comes out.
Oh yeah.
This looks terrible, and I the fact that you're gonna make me watch this thing to review it, I'm gonna be so mad at you in 6 months or to a year, whenever this thing comes out. I'm gonna be sitting in the theater going. I'm gonna sit in the theater going, God, I fucking hate Dave, and I'm gonna be having my pop and my Skittles and just angry the whole time.
Well, that'll be if you can stay awake because Dakota Johnson is playing Madam Web, and her voice was specifically tuned to put people to sleep. She's she's still monotone in the trailer, like just monotone.
Oh my god!
Being mean
Hear
to Dakota
John make a
Johnson.
comment like that, you know that this movie's going to be bad.
If I notice that, then it's a real problem.
She looks so much like her father now. It's weird. Like she looks so much like Don Johnson. It's bizarre. Like
I mean,
I don't see any Melanie Griffith in her at all. It's so weird.
The funny thing is, a trailer should make you want to go see a movie, right? And
Fail.
So the trailer failed.
Failed.
All right, you know what though? Anyone who's watching right now in the comments, anyone who's watching this after the fact, if you're interested in this movie, tell us why. Like, what is
I'd
it?
love to hear.
Yeah, like if anyone's really intrigued, I want to know.
Sydney Sweeney looks great as Julia Carpenter. They did the shot of her, and I'm like, she looks perfect as Julia Carpenter. Why is she dressed like Spider-Man? I can't get over that.
Right, like why? Well, because she has spider powers. Like that's the whole thing. Like they're creating a spider team. Oh, because that's the thing, right? Like the Parkers were studying spiders in some other country, like with her parents, and so apparently, I guess her powers are going to be tied to spiders, right?
easy, JD, easy.
You can't rip your face off.
I'm trying. I just want to see another Spider-Man movie before Tom Holland is in his 40s. I just want to see another Spider-Man movie. Not so
Are we
much to
going
ask
to
for.
get one?
I don't know. Kevin Feige's trying to sell us, the Floorbush Man movie.
The what?
The character
check the
from Not
comments.
Brand Eck. Floorbush Man. Wow, little too nerdy for this crew.
Drew,
This will all lead to the Sinister Six. Drew,
I would say
I hate you. The Sinister Six movie. God damn it.
They'll probably happen. Like that's what they're
I'm not
thinking
reading
of,
that.
right?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I give
They-
up.
Sydney Sweeney is a
They're not
great,
going to be stopped by Spider-Man not being there.
great in tight outfits. That's why she has her suit.
I got nothing.
But if Sony wanted to make a movie where Peter Parker is a dinosaur, they can do that because
Yeah,
Spider-Verse.
you're 100%. You're 100% right.
It's on the
And
table now,
but I'm still gonna bitch about it.
says Mark.
Although I'd rather see Peter Parker as a dinosaur than
this
this
sounds
Madden
like
movie.
absolute shit.
And
Doesn't it?
anything
Yeah.
with Spider Dinosaur in it would have 100% more Spider-Man than any of these Spider-Man spin-offs.
Yeah, it would actually feature a Spider-Man. That would be the one
Yes.
movie that actually had a Spider-Man in it.
We got the Spider Dinosaur in Spider-Verse.
We
Yeah,
did.
I know,
We did,
I know, but
and he was
like
great.
if they spun that off into its own movie, still more Spider-Man
Yeah.
than Craven, than Morpheus, than
Oh,
than
God,
Madam
I
Web.
forgot about
than-
Craven. Oh my
We have to
God.
watch that. We
Oh
still
my
haven't
God.
seen that movie.
Nope.
Oh my
When's it
God,
come
Aaron
out?
Taylor Johnson. Who cares? Aaron Taylor Johnson's going to glower at us for 95 minutes. Oh God.
Captain. Oh, Sep. They can't because PP belongs to the mouse.
Oh, Peter Parker belongs. Yeah,
I know, but I love PP.
Pardon me, sir. Pardon me, sir. We have multiple Peter Parkers in Spider-Verse.
So you make movies around Spider-Man, but you just the blue ball fans. You know what? Yes. I don't know. They could do Miles. I don't understand why
They're
they don't
doing
work out a
Miles.
deal.
But
Why
doing
don't they work? No, but like they do him in live action. Like do work out
Nah,
a deal.
keep it-
Miles is in this universe, and
Keep it going. Keep it going. Miles is fine as he is. Don't ruin Miles right now. Anything that Marvel's actually doing on their own is bad. So just keep Miles is fine. Miles is not a problem right now. The only problem is we're not getting another Miles soon. Christopher Aaron Taylor Johnson might make Craven a bit entertaining. He will not. I will tell you that right now.
bet you didn't see that coming.
Do Spider-Punk. Sure, whatever. Who cares?
No one cares.
Ugh.
That's the problem. All right. The other trailer that we saw this week was What If Season 2, which I know you don't have any interest in, JD.
I got all worked up for my last one. I don't care about this one.
What did you think, John?
Well, I liked the original. I liked the first season, so this second season should be interesting. This is the one where they're supposed to introduce Kaori, the Native American
Yeah.
superhero.
They're going to have a whole episode around her.
Right.
They're doing
And
like
the
a
trailer looks
1602
good.
thing, right? They're doing like 1602. They're doing like 1602.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so the trailer looks good. I mean,
Without Neil,
it's gonna be.
good call.
So
There's not much more to say. Like there's so many different clips, and you don't know what to really expect because it's what if. So it'll be interesting. I like the first season. This season should be good too.
Looks interesting. I think it looks good. They definitely got some of the actors to come back and do voices, which is good. I don't know who's voicing T'Challa in it though. He sounded good. He sounded a lot like oh my God, why can't I think of his name?
Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick Boseman, thank you. Yeah. So, but I wonder if it's AI.
No, don't even. They would not
They just
after
get a guy
not
to do
after.
them.
Yeah, they're not with the new agreements. I think too.
No, that's true. Although there's
Yeah, but what if this was made before the agreements?
Well, it doesn't matter. The new agreements would null and void that.
Mm-hmm. This is true.
Would it?
Mm-hmm.
Really? If something's produced before?
Yep.
Interesting.
If it hasn't been released, yeah.
Post production is still being done.
Okay, well that's true. So, yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I know John will watch it. I know JD will avoid it like the plague. Though I think you should watch it. It's good.
No.
I know you can't get past the animation.
Nope, hate it.
And yet you liked Mutant Mayhem, the
Loved it.
animation in that. You
Loved it.
know, crack smoker.
That was great. What'd you call me?
A crack smoker.
That is a vile thing to call someone.
Is
Dave.
it?
Yes. Yes, I'm a connoisseur of the finer things, like Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
You liked it too, John.
I know.
Just throw cats in the fire.
All right. Well,
you can tell we haven't done a show in a couple weeks because we're like spicy today.
Yeah, I know. It's, the only thing I can say about that is...
What are you doing? We don't do that here.
We're going to need more clips.
I'm going to beat that to death. All right, let's take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back with our main topic.
I'll blow this town to smithereens. Time bombs. Try to get up there in time, Spider-Man.
Watch me cut my web, Goblin.
Watch yourself fall, Silk Slinger.
Gotta stop the bombs in time.
If I don't get you, webhead, my diagnostics will.
Holy Hannah.
And you're running out of fluid.
Is this more action than even Spider-Man could handle?
Spider-Man, a video game from Parker Brothers, the ones to beat.
All right, so
that looked better than the Madam Web trailer.
Wow,
and more believable.
Just completely dumping on that.
Yes, it's going to be my new gimmick.
Oh, everything looks better than Madam Web.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so John picked the main topic for this week.
I know, and JD's going to punish me for it. So
we watched.
No, not really.
We watched the animated movie Justice League Dark, and
now there are several animated series. This was part of the DC. Was it animated movie universe?
It's older than I thought. It's 2017.
Yeah. Well, they came out with Justice League Dark Apocalypse War in 2020. But anyway, so there's a DCAU, which the animated universe, which usually includes Bruce Timm's stuff, and then there's the DCAMU, which they were doing to get away from Bruce Timm stuff and start making things different after a new Flashpoint that they wrote, and then that started to collapse, and now they're in the Tomorrowverse. So this is part of the DC AMU, and they have most of the same actors come back and do all these different heroes and everything.
That's complicated.
It is, but this is one of the best of this is near the top of all the movies that I have seen, all the anime movies for DC. Like this one was done, really really well.
All right, so let's. I'm kind of curious. So, I mean, John, we know you like the movie, but JD, I'm curious. What did you think when you watched this?
It's okay. A little more violent than I was expecting, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I have not watched a lot of these things, so I kind of went into this expecting something more Timmy, if you will.
Yeah.
And I didn't get it, and I didn't love it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it at the same time. But it was all right.
I think your microphone switched off. By the way.
I think your microphone switched to your computer mic.
My bad. Give me a second.
Yep.
Christopher Smith says he rewatched it earlier. He thought it was... I forgot how good it was.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This one was really good. And DC is confusing, yes.
And Christopher,
I mean, that's part of the charm.
I had to remind myself they can get away with more in animation in the sense of they don't have to explain as much as they do in a live action movie
or anything. Like if I didn't know who these characters were, I'd be like, who's this guy? What's this guy's thing? What's he doing? Why is this?
They introduced them as they went.
Kinda.
Well, like Constantine, like they don't really explain
He's
You
just
don't know
John Constantine.
It's just John Constantine. Same
Yeah.
thing with Zartana. It's like
Mm-hmm.
or
Same thing
Zatanna.
with
She's
Jason
just-
Blood. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
The
I
Dead
don't know.
Man is the only character like they kind of introduce.
Yeah.
Well,
You
they
know?
they introduced Jason Blood too. I mean, like they explained him in the back, and
Kind
yeah,
of.
Zatanna was kind of light. They didn't talk because then you have to talk about Zatara, her father, and all this other history. But yeah,
But why was Batman in this?
To sell DVDs.
That's what I was going to say. Like,
wasn't he was part of Justice League Dark though? Like the
He was not,
original-
in fact, part of Justice League Dark.
wasn't he?
No.
Am I
No.
misremembering?
Oh, he's
Yeah,
nothing to do
he's-
with Justice League Dark.
That's the whole thing. He's not like I feel like they threw him into this movie to sell the movie.
Because
it would
people
work, yes.
like Batman, and we'll just if we put Batman in it, people will buy it. When they're right, people bought it for Batman.
He doesn't add anything to the story.
No.
There's
Voiced
no
by
like,
Jason O'Mara in this, by the way.
there's no mystery that he figures out, so he's not the greatest detective. He doesn't really see the plot twist and ending come or and the twist in the end coming. So it's just like
The problem
wow.
with having Batman in this movie is by having Batman be Batman, you take away John Constantine. They're two
Right.
characters that serve that in the confines of a story serve basically the same role. Nobody gets
Well,
over on Constantine. Nobody gets over on Batman. So Batman and him have this weird give and take that doesn't quite work, right? John Constantine you have to justify John Constantine, but by doing that, you have to kind of take away what makes Batman Batman. So Batman just
But it
becomes
should
window
work.
dressing. It doesn't.
I know, but it should if the script had just
Okay,
done a little.
tell me how many great Batman John. How many great Batman John Constantine stories do we have? You know,
I know, but what I'm saying is like this is set. I mean, the main problem is magic, right? So Constantine's going to have something to do no matter what, and they Batman can handle a lot of the mystery stuff too. So it should have worked a little bit better than it did. But it's still,
Batman.
again, this is
Batman shouldn't be involved in this kind of stuff. You know, like magic, like that's just not what Batman should really be doing. Batman's a street level character and functions at his best, unless he's being written by Grant Morrison, as a street level character. Like, unless you have Grant's gigantic imagination working on this stuff, like it doesn't quite. He's supposed to be. I get that Batman's supposed to be the entry point character. I just don't think it works. He doesn't feel like Batman enough.
Yeah.
Chris says Batman is like Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark. He's completely irrelevant. No, Indiana Jones is relevant. He's just he just makes things worse the entire movie.
Yeah.
Right. If Indiana Jones isn't there, Hitler gets the Ark of the Covenant and everybody dies in the war.
Well, yeah. I mean,
they never find the Ark.
No, they still would have found the Ark, and everybody in that place would have still melted. Like nothing would have changed if Indy hadn't been there. Nothing would have changed. It would have been the exact same plot.
Yeah, he's just kind of he's just kind of on along for the ride. Anyway, we're not talking about Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't know. Like I don't hate this movie. I've never liked the concept of Justice League Dark, mainly because Justice League Dark is a stupid title.
Yeah, because they're not really Justice League in the sense of
we're the Justice League, but we're dark.
Well, they're supposed to handle the things that go bump.
I know how it works. They have better names. There's better names for what they do, right? I forget the Detective Chip team from the late 2000s, but like there was a better name that was a better name than Justice League Dark. It was Justice League Dark. It's so gothy.
Okay.
Right?
So instead of just shitting on the name, I know. But did you enjoy the movie?
Yeah, it's okay. I didn't hate it.
So I mean, okay. So let's talk about the movie a little bit.
Well, yeah, Dave, because you didn't give your opinion really.
Like it's not bad. It's good, but it's not like I didn't walk away from this going like this is the greatest animated Batman or animated
you're not gonna,
DC movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know.
You don't go into every movie expecting that
would be a better title.
I don't even like that.
Yeah, Supernatural might have been taken though.
That's true.
So the movie starts out that people are hallucinating in, Gotham and Metropolis and doing terrible things because they're seeing terrible things, and killing people, killing loved ones, and the Justice League is going around stopping them. Which
And this is an R-rated. I've got the thing here. This is an R-rated movie, so like when they say terrible things, it's terrible things.
This
like,
is true.
Really.
Shadow Pact. That was the name of the team from the late 2000s. That sounds better than Justice League Dark, but again, Justice League Dark probably sells more copies, even though it sounds stupid.
And so Batman goes to talk to Zatanna, which is basically what pulls him into this story. You know,
yeah.
like,
Well, he gets possessed. He gets possessed by Deadman, and Deadman.
That's right.
Writes Constantine all over the room.
Yeah.
So then they go to see Zatanna to find Constantine.
Right.
After by like a year or something. Justice League Dark was part of the New 52. So Dark Reign was, I think, the year before that.
Yeah, I think so.
Dark Reign was like 2010, I want to say.
Everything was dark.
That sounds right.
It was also not good.
Oh, okay.
It's not perfect, but it's entertaining. You want a good Batman movie. Best one, Under the Red Hood. It's probably good.
Yeah.
Dark Justice. That is so 90s.
It is.
It is so 90s.
That's a Van Damme movie, right? Or something.
Yeah,
like that,
100%. That absolutely something Golden Globus would have made in the early the early 90s. You know, Albert Payun would have directed it.
Okay, getting back to this. Yeah, I know.
Okay, so then they go to see she says, "Oh, I know someone to help." That she talks about Constantine. They take the Batmobile to go find Constantine, but of course, he's in what's the name of his house?
House of Mysteries.
House of Mysteries. Right. Which
see, I remember reading the books of magic and House of Mysteries and all those other weird ones.
Right. So he's in the House of Mystery, which moves around. They find him, and then of course, oh my god, I can't even think of the character's name.
Unlike the House of Pain, which only wants to jump around until you got to get down. Come on.
Leave those jokes to Tim. Leave those jokes to Tim.
Come on. I ain't getting nothing on that.
What are you doing? We don't do that here.
Jason Blood, you know.
Look,
by the way, the
Dark
cast
Justice sounds like a canon film.
It does.
By the way,
That's what I'm saying. It's directed by Albert Payun.
The cast in this is really interesting. Rosario Dawson plays Wonder Woman. Jerry O'Connell plays Superman.
Yeah, but they're in it for like what, a minute?
Yeah.
They got their day right.
Ray Chase is Jason Blood.
Dark Justice Extreme, drawn by Rob Liefeld. Thank you, Don. Yes. 100%.
I feel like this has already gone off the rails.
Pouches. Lots of pouches.
And then, the other weird thing in the movie was, so the essence of the house, they has like that magical woman walking around, and like her and Deadman kind of have a thing going on, but like that was weird, right? Am I wrong?
Whole thing's weird, to be honest with you.
Well, again, I mean, they're both magical constructs, and you know, both under the auspices of some other god or Gias. So yeah, I mean, it was kind of interesting, and it didn't really play up the fact that when she was destroyed, that it was actually she was like feeling everything as she was being destroyed. Like they didn't play that up. So
right, but then
anyway, go ahead.
It's one of those things, though. The character that Constantine had to go and get the
Richie,
Richie, to get the MacGuffin from, and
exactly what that was, yeah.
And Richie's dying of magical cancer, and it's like that's one of the. I mean, and I understand it's contrived. It's made. It's a movie, and it's made to be tied. This happens in stories all the time, but like that also happens to be the person they're looking for, but they don't realize it's the person they're looking for yet. You know, they think it's this other guy. Yeah, it was just like that was the thing. Like that plot twist at the that twist at the end where it was like it was him all along, and
it was Richie all along. Yeah,
it was Richie all along. It was like
I was wrong. It was Earth all along.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really made a monkey. Sorry.
Monkey out of me.
I
mean,
love you, Dr. Zayas.
Personally, I liked the way they played Zatanna because like
She's
technically,
great. Yeah.
well, technically Zatanna the character is probably one of the most is like a reality warper. Like she is one of the most powerful
She's like
heroes there is. Period.
She's like a Wanda level.
Yes.
She's higher than Wanda. Like she would kick Wanda's ass. No doubt.
Spoken like a
It
DC
depends
fan over a Marvel.
No,
on
not a
who's
DC thing.
Depends on who's writing the story.
No,
It's fiction.
well, not really. I mean, well, they did a death battle on it, and she did kick Wanda's ass.
Oh,
but
that
like it,
is that a
that's an accurate.
But if you go, no, it's like, but the point
that's
is,
the nerdiest thing you've ever said.
I know.
Like, all time.
No,
You
it's
win.
not. But
That
no,
is-
it's not. But
I've done this show with you for 7 years, and that is the nerdiest thing I've ever said. Well, she won. Well, she won the death battle.
but it's not just that. It's the fact that in canon she is like if she let go, like she kind of did a little bit in this.
Right.
She would she rapidly ascends because she literally has unfettered access to magic.
Yeah, Wanda let
and
go
reality.
completely
Period.
changed all the reality of the Marvel universe as well. Like
Completely rewrote time.
Yeah, I know that was why they did a death battle because it was an interesting contrast between their two kinds. One's a Nexus being and the other one is a full on reality warper who just can suck in more and more magic.
Gobbledy
So-
goopity gobbity gob. They're fictional
Yeah, I
characters.
know. And everybody can move in femto time, and everybody's faster than the
femto
Flash. and-
time.
Yeah, I know. It's like or Planck time. Sorry. Like it's just superhero stuff.
I feel like
Anyway,
I'm in a Mentos commercial.
Okay. All right. So Swamp Thing is in this, and of course,
Yep.
it's the God version of Swamp Thing. Like so, obviously JD's
best version of Swamp Thing.
favorite version of Swamp
Yes.
Thing. What did you think of his inclusion in this movie?
Swamp Thing is part of the Justice League Dark. I don't think he necessarily works in a team setting, but
Yeah.
for the use in this thing, it was fine for what it was. Like Swamp Thing needs to kind of okay. So in the 80s, they did this really awesome Alan Moore story where Swamp Thing goes to Gotham looking for Abby because she's in Arkham, and then he
Yes.
just completely takes over Arkham, and Batman's like, I don't know what to do, and and it really kind of shows that like Swamp Thing is on like another level. It's a great story. So in his inclusion, these things always makes me scratch my head. But he's Swamp Thing. Like I get why you want to use him. He's a hard character to pull off. I don't know why Chris is the devil. Chris, who devil pulls convincing them will not exist. Thank you, Kaiser Sose. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like it's fine. I mean, I like any chance. More Swamp Thing is always better than less Swamp Thing.
Yeah, I felt he was kind of nerfed though.
A little bit.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
we've read some Swamp Thing. We read the one story, Swamp Thing story on here, and
We did
like,
read that. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Read that for the show. I forgot that.
yeah, I mean, and like, he basically is a god, and it was like,
Yeah.
What's the name of the villain in this?
It's Felix Faust.
No, Richie was the real, but Felix Faust was the fake.
Yeah.
The fake out.
The Kaiser Sose, the verbal Kint, if you will.
But no, this was just. I mean, they were portraying him in this just before like his true godhood because he was still trying to become human, and that was the point when he got his real body ripped out of his green body that kind of tipped him over, and then he didn't care anymore.
Destiny. Says Christopher Smith.
Ooh, that's
Destiny,
a sketch.
Destiny.
Destiny's a sketch you want to use. Destiny's part of that whole the Neilverse. You got to be careful using Destiny.
Yeah.
Destiny predates. Destiny's from the original House of Mystery, so you can use Destiny, but you're getting awfully Neely. Got to be careful. Got to be careful.
And then
Neil's
of course,
very possessive of his characters for good reason. Can you imagine what would happen if they let like some idiots write the Sandman stuff?
yeah.
Yeah.
God forbid they would have let like Chuck Dixon write some damn Sandman books or something like that. Ugh.
And surprisingly, like, I felt like the story was really the story of Etrigan, and
Kind of, yeah.
what's his face? Was it Christopher Blood?
Jason Blood.
Jason Blood.
Blood, right.
Yeah, it was like their story.
I always think using Jason Blood and Constantine is kind of weird too, because they're kind of similar, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
know.
like they kind of.
Well, no,
they're in
one's
that
a
poker game at the beginning of the movie, and it's kind of like
yeah, but one's a paladin, the other's the one that drives the plot. I mean, you know, like you always got to have the paladin for certain problems.
I think
What are you talking
Constantine,
about?
like Constantine is a. Constantine,
it's just,
Constantine feels like at times he's a agent of chaos who
Kinda.
uses the chaos to get the job done.
Mhm.
Where Blood is more methodical and like.
well, he
doesn't want to
Constantine's
destroy
the
the world.
one. Constantine's the one that will make the hard choices. That even though everybody's going to hate him and want to kill him, he's still trying to save the day, even if it's like the worst choice that anybody could make.
Batman is what you're telling me. He's Batman. This is why I'm saying these two characters don't work together like at the same time. They serve the same function.
Yeah. Yeah, even in the story.
But
Yeah,
Batman can't do any magic, so
that's why he shouldn't be in the story.
Yeah. Yeah.
well, you know, he was the liaison between the Justice League and these magicians. So, what are you gonna do? Like yeah, I get it. It's all a contrivance. It's all a story. But you know, without him there, I don't think the whole story works without him. It's just that he has very little. He has very little to do, and he should have had more. He should have been the one to figure out, you know, Richard, because he deals with that kind of psychological problem. You know?
You're right, but then again, then why do you have constant? That's what I'm saying. The two characters' functions work in opposition. They're like, you know, like similarly charged ions that are just bouncing off each other. Doesn't work.
Oh my god.
All right. So,
I was gonna say though, I didn't like my question because I'm not as much up on DC as you guys. Was the Etrigan story true to the comics? Like, is that how it went in the?
There's a lot of origins for Etrigan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like,
all right.
This one works. You know, he's got like the Joker, like kind of, you know, pick a card origin. You know, sometimes it's very Arthurian, sometimes it's not. Like, it's, you know, kind of is.
Yeah. Okay. Didn't they use him in the? They used him in something, didn't they?
They've used him in a lot of the DC animated movies.
Okay, I'm trying to think of the other one I watched where he was in.
He's in one of my favorite Justice League episodes where they turn him into Baby Demon.
Oh,
that's what I'm thinking of.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Great episode. With Morgan Le Fay and Mordred, actually. That's an Arthurian one.
Yeah. I mean, and then like then at the end when all hell is breaking loose, and then the Justice League are now all succumbing to the hallucinations and, you know, want to kill everyone. And it was just like, really? Like, I just thought that was...
Gotta up those stakes, man. Gotta up those stakes.
Well, yeah, but that's what would happen, because the Justice League would walk in, you know, arms are swinging, not real, you know, like...
Except for Batman, right?
Well,
like,
he should have been the one to tell them, like, he should have been on the radio, like,
and that's the thing that got me
like
too.
Batman would have done. Like Batman would have done that. That's the first thing Batman would have done. They'd be like, "Oh, this is bad. This is because what's Batman always super paranoid about? Who's gonna fuck with Superman's brain? It's like his number one. It's like his number one.
Yeah.
Like it's the up at night is who's gonna try to fuck with Superman's brain tomorrow? And like it bothers him immensely.
And I think that's what bothers me about his inclusion in this movie is he's so out of character.
Yeah, he's not Batman.
Yeah. Like,
first thing Batman would have done was if he gotten on with somebody at the watch, like, okay, you guys got to go away for a little bit because it's going to be a problem when I have to deal with the Kryptonian who's having freaking mind orgasms and he's trying to kill everybody. Like,
yeah, like it would have worked better if it was Nightwing, you know, maybe.
You know, I can't argue with that because Dick's not quite as slick.
Right, exactly.
That came out wrong.
Slick Dick.
That was actually unintentional. Yeah.
Right,
So
but
bad I tried to take off the glasses I'm not wearing. I just.
but you know, like that's what I'm
I
saying.
have
Like,
broken John.
it's more believable for me that like Batman wouldn't have called the Justice League to say, "Hey, like make sure you don't get screwed up,"
Hey,
or
by the way,
think of some kind of defense for them so they don't succumb to it, right? Like,
hey,
Which
can
would
you
have been
guys hang out?
something that.
Can y'all hang out
that would've-
off world for a week?
yeah, go
Well,
go hang out in the orbiting satellite.
All right. So, I mean, okay.
Like, it's not bad, but it's just not like great.
I'm with Dave on this one. I thought it was fine.
Yeah, that was fine too.
Yeah, and I think that's the only thing that like because I liked Swamp Thing. I
I
thought he
don't
was a
care.
little
Love the
nerfed,
character.
but yeah, I mean I loved all the characters that they used, but it's just like Batman didn't feel right. That's what hurt it.
He's only there to sell DVDs because he put Batman in the DVD cover. People go, "Oh, Batman! Ooh, Justice League Dark. Oh, I like it. Batman. Okay."
And I think when you see Batman on the cover and you hear Justice League Dark, you think
Batman.
something completely different. Yeah, you think
That's
like
part of the thing. Yeah, because it's not really the Justice League, right? It's really like Constantine and the players. Like it's like who's John Constantine manipulating this week? So I guess that's I don't know. I don't
Constantine and the Cons.
Yeah, I've never loved the concept of Justice League Dark in and of itself because it just feels like it's not something that Constantine would waste his time with on an ongoing basis. Like the Justice League Dark should be like the Defenders. Like remember the Defenders were like the non-team. But then even that kind of point. Well, how can you guys all hang out together? You're clearly a team. Like it's one of those. It just doesn't. The whole function of it just doesn't quite work for me.
And yeah, and I also kind of felt like, and come on, if you're a Constantine fan, you have to agree with this. At the end, when they talk about Batman asked Zatanna to join the Justice League, and she said, "And you too," and like he got excited about that. That's not
John
not,
Constantine be like, yeah, right here with your Justice League, like
right.
Like it's so not what can you imagine John Constantine hanging out in a watchtower with Superman and playing checkers with the Flash? No, it doesn't work. Zatanna clearly, yeah, she's a Justice Leaguer, but John Constantine, like, he'd be like, no, fuck you guys.
They kick him out after the first week of pranks with people turning into frogs and shit.
He wouldn't even bother to go. He might go to check things out and be like, "Yo, they're lame," and then bounce, call them tossers or something.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't work at all. John Constantine would not be enthralled with the idea of joining the Justice League. Like he is not a mark. Like he is not someone to be like, "Ooh, I get to hang out with Superman." Like it's just, I don't like it.
I figure out how to use the stuff.
I did see this.
He's trying to figure out how to manipulate him.
Yeah,
I forgot. I completely forgot. I saw this today. I was looking something else up, and the production for Constantine 2 is back on track after everything.
With Keanu Reeves?
Yes, with Keanu Reeves. Yep.
Oh, we talked about that. I forgot about that.
So
I don't know how to react to that. Matt Ryan was such a good Constantine.
He was.
He did. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure about the second one. I mean, the second one's it's good, except that
there's a 2.
Yeah, Apocalypse War.
Yeah,
and it is at the end they have to do another Flashpoint. Like it's that one gets really, really dark. Like that's kind of a really appropriate name for that one.
Yeah, and like that's the thing too. I like the fact that they take chances and they do a darker story like this. Like that you can't fault them for. Like that's a good thing. The
second story is brutal, like really brutal.
I mean, let's be honest, I didn't see the twist coming. Like I did, but it bugged me that no one else did either. Like John and Batman missed that. Until it was too late. It was like, really? So, yeah.
All right. So, what are we doing next week? Because Godzilla -1 comes out.
Oh, is that coming out to regular theaters?
Yeah.
Oh, we should
next
do that.
weekend.
I'm down. I'm totally
down. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm out.
Monster movie. Yeah.
All right.
And this And this is because this is good because right now you can go to Amazon and you can buy Justice League versus Godzilla 1 and 2.
Well, there you go.
No, comics.
Oh,
the comic books.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah,
Justice League versus Godzilla and King Kong. The
Legendaries.
The Legion of Doom was fucking around with portals to other universes, and
they got the Hollow Earth.
Yeah, they got the Hollow Earth by accident. It's like, oop, wrong dial. No. Wait, why is there a huge monkey here? So
okay, you know what? I don't hate that at all. I don't hate that I don't hate anything about that. I kind of love that idea. I will go buy that tomorrow.
All right.
Yep.
Godzilla -1.
All right, so let's wrap this
Dave
up
is
then.
not happy.
I didn't say that. I just know that that's a movie I'm definitely gonna have to go by myself to go.
Oh, you're gonna talk Karen, but Karen, we're gonna go see Godzilla -1, and she's gonna look at you like, I hate you now, and it's gonna be hilarious.
Pretty much. All right, let's go around with recommendations, or did you learn anything on the podcast this week? And John, you can go first.
Well, recommendations is I also have these guys here, which is Justice League X Ruby. So
what is Ruby? I'm going to look at this. What is Ruby?
Red, white, blue, yellow. It's the name of the team of the girls from Remnant from the other world.
What is that?
So Ruby's another animated show that was started by Monty Oum, who is probably one of the greatest CGI artists of all time. Like he could make what?
This is an anime thing. I literally don't know anything about this.
Yes, it's an anime thing.
Yeah, it's an anime thing, but he made fights so kinetic and so based in physics, but so amazingly good. And then he passed away. But he created Ruby himself. So, but now part 1 and part 2 are both out of Justice League X Ruby, and it's interesting if you know anything about the Ruby universe, if you watched Ruby, and if you know about Justice League, then you get to see them interact, and it's really cool, and it's done very well.
I know Jack Ruby killed Oswald about 60 years ago.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
What are you doing? We don't do that here.
Okay, we gotta put a limit
about that. We have that on film.
Yeah, we gotta put a limit on that.
No JFK conspiracy talk. We did that on my other podcast. It was
no, I mean on the clip.
Oh yeah, we need another clip.
All right, I'll find another clip. All right, JD.
I watched Willy Wonka on the I didn't learn a goddamn thing. I watched Willy Wonka. I did. Dave is a cruel person who doesn't want to see Pedro Pascal's Mr. Fantastic, and that disturbs me greatly. I will recommend Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory from 1971. Watched it with the kid. It's hard to get him to sit and watch a whole movie without him getting bored and going to go play. He's got such this like boundless imagination, and he wants to go do stuff. He sat the whole time and asked me a lot of questions. Super concerned about the fate of the children, but knew they deserved it because they were bold little shits. He's like, these kids are not nice. I said, yeah, they're not. And he was super concerned. Like when Charlie Bucket almost died, he figured out right away. He's like, he screwed up. He's screwed up. He's not gonna be able to. He's not gonna win the chocolate. So it was fun watching that through a 7-year-old's eyes for the first time. The movie holds up great. Gene Wilder is treasure.
Yep,
it's really good.
He's terrifying too. He can be
terrifying.
Terrifying. I just saw
Yeah.
a video on TikTok where they were talking about Willy Wonka.
The Chinese government.
Don't make me pull the clip out again. And how Willy Wonka is actually a villain.
Well,
I mean,
I don't know if he's a villain, but he's not a good person.
Fun factoid about the movie: Gene Wilder wanted he told them to film that first scene with him where he came out on the cane and then did the role because he wanted to make sure that the audience knew that they couldn't trust a thing about him for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
So
and apparently the
brilliant movie making too. It's just
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of weird. It was a lot of weird things. It was also, a young person who didn't grow up with the movie, so obviously has their modern day view on movies
Can't
like that.
you can't be a Gen Zer who didn't grow up with these things and go back and try to watch them with your Twitter sphere eye.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't work that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I learned that JD is a true lover of Pedro Pascal and
I
thinks
love
he
the
can
man.
do no wrong. Yeah.
Can't. I cried when Oberyn Martell died. It's tragic. The show never recovered. It's actually true. The show never recovered from that.
Also, I will recommend if you're here now and you're watching this after the fact, make sure you hit that subscribe button, click that bell for notifications so you don't miss us when we go live on Sunday nights, right here on YouTube. Also, I am working on something for the show for next week. I will make an announcement about it if I get it to work. If not, I won't say anything else.
We don't know what he's talking about.
No, you don't know what it is yet.
We're in the dark too.
And
Mm-hmm.
what was the other thing? Oh yeah, yes, I recommend you go to superheroespeak.com where you can find the podcast every week. Links to all our social media at the top of the page, comic book reviews by Chris, and so much more. And yeah, and I guess I am going to recommend that you go see Dinosaur Godzilla -1 because that is what we will be talking about on the podcast next week because I was outvoted by 2 Godzilla lovers. And yeah, so on that note, boys and girls, as always, thanks for watching. Don't let your cape caught in the door. Have a good week.